Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Fox Theater, Pomona, California. DMG Boxing presents Night of Champions live on BXNG TV and the World Boxing Channel on Radiant Television. Brought to you by Fightbook, Drive It Financial, Happy Jewelers, Happy Looks Good on You, and Torque Law, Champions of the People. This is the opening attraction of the evening, 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner, Samuel Palencia.
All right, Ramblin' Ralph Velez doing the honors there, kicking things off. Hello, everybody from the broadcast team, or one-man team for now. TK Todd Kennelly here with you, everybody, inside the historic Fox Theater in Pomona, California. We take a look at the tail of the tape for our opening contest as William Charles Fonseca tries to remain undefeated, 1-0-1. He's got one draw in there, taking on Samuel Palencia, and that is how we are going to kick things off. What a night we have in store for you guys. 7 big bouts coming your way. Let's talk about history in the making. In our main event, we will crown the vacant WBF International Lightweight Champion as the undefeated Mathias Radcliffe takes on Ezequiel Flores. That is still to come. But we're going to kick things off in the welterweight division as we await Samuel Palencia. Palencia comes in with an experience record, a slight experience record over his opponent. Comes in with a 1-3 record. His one victory, however, was by knockout in his debut, a round 4 KO over Edgar Garcia Bram. 3 consecutive losses have plagued him as of late, but it comes against tough opposition in the form of Niguy Sims, who we'll see on this card, the 5-0 Dorian Mendez, and William Davis. We'll see if Palencia can get back on track here in the Fox Theater. First of 7 big bouts, Night of Champions. You know, this building just turned 94 years old. The Fox Theater first opened its doors in April of 1931. So just celebrating 94 years of history, and we have history in the making, as a champion will be crowned in our main event later on. But we kick things off with welterweights in action in this 4-rounder. DMG, as a promotion, has become very active all of a sudden, signing fighters. More on that later. Recently signed Otar Uranosian, an absolute beast at 130 pounds. More on that to come. They've been signing fighters to contracts. This is the 2nd consecutive month that they have run a show in this historic venue. Not exactly sure what the holdup is. With this first bout. Again, I'll take this moment to just talk about what's in store. 7 big fights, including our WBF International Lightweight title main event. Can't wait for that. The return of terrible Terrell Washington, the exciting 2-0 prospect. Here we go. Good things come to those who wait as we get set for our opening contest. 4 rounds of action in the welterweight division, you will see a good number of 4-rounders, competitors making their debut or young in their career, a couple 6-rounders, and then a big 8-round championship main event as Samuel
And his
Palencia.
opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner. From Anaheim, California, William Charles Fonseca.
A lot of fanfare for the fighter out of the red corner, William Charles Fonseca. And they've got a lot to cheer about thus far. Comes in with no marks in the loss column. Comes in 1-0-1, 20 years of age. Out of Anaheim, California. Anaheim is the home of the happiest place on earth. Thus far, the squared circle has been a pretty happy place for that man, William Charles Fonseca, coming off of a unanimous decision victory over Bryan Domingo, somebody who we will see in the Fox Theater in action.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's bouts are sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner Peter Villegas, Executive Officer Andy Foster. This is the opening attraction of the evening, 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Casillas. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Ray Corona. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the red, trimmed with gold. He went in officially at 144 1/4 pounds. He is a veteran of 4 professional fights, fighting out of and representing Riverside, California, presenting Samuel Palencia. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the camouflage trunks. He went in officially at 146 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 1 victory, no defeats. His lone victory coming by way of KO. Fighting out of and representing Anaheim, California, presenting William Charles Fonseca. Referee in charge, Ray Corona, for instructions.
Look at nothing below here, nothing below here. You want to touch gloves? God bless.
Final instructions given by veteran official Ray Corona. There you get a good look at the undefeated William Charles Fonseca. Tries to keep that O intact. Taking on Samuel Palencia at the right of your screen. Palencia in the red and gold. Palencia, as I mentioned, a slight experience advantage. This is his 5th professional fight to the 3rd of the undefeated Fonseca. This one scheduled for 4 rounds of action in the welterweight division. Fonseca is effective with that lead left. Again, trying to remain undefeated, and Palencia trying to take a step to evening that record up a little bit. Palencia trying to cut the ring off here. Corner Fonseca. Fonseca looks to be the longer ranger of the 2 fighters. Certainly a lot of support in the house for William Charles Fonseca. Samuel Palencia, aggressive thus far, trying to corner Fonseca. Nice body shot by Fonseca, who blitzed out of being backed up no longer like a caged animal. Blitzed out, caught him with a nice shot to the body, echoed off the historic halls of the Fox Theater. Lead left hook as well by William Charles Fonseca. These 4 rounders, as we're accustomed to seeing, not going to see a whole lot of feeling out process. They are mixing it up, throwing some serious leather early. Nice straight right hand by Fonseca. Again, he can utilize that reach and hopefully keep Palencia at bay. at range off of that jab. There you see it again. Scores nicely for Fonseca, but Palencia continues to walk him down. Palencia certainly very aggressive. Tries to triple up on the jab in his own right, does Palencia. The corner of Samuel Palencia saying you're taking too long. You got to let it fly. Uncork the offense. Body position is one thing, but if you're going to back him up, you got to do something with it. That's what Palencia is going to have to do. Inside a minute to go now, coming up on 40 seconds in the first of 4 rounds. Night of Champions here at Fox Theater. Circling off and a big straight right by Fonseca. And I'll tell you, when Fonseca digs to the body, man, he will cook those ribs. That is for sure. Nasty body shots a couple times over by William Charles Fonseca. See who gets the best out of the clinch here as the first round coming quickly to a close. Final seconds of round 1. Good action in round 1 between Samuel Palencia and William Charles Fonseca. Now, Palencia really did his best to cut off the ring, try and walk down Fonseca, but Fonseca, I think, was definitely connecting with the more meaningful shots. We take a look back at some of the action. Straight right there by Fonseca. Look at that. Beautiful job there, circling out of the corner. And there we see one of those big body shots. Fonseca just using that reach and can dig way down deep. And that body shot coming from another area code. And he connected with a couple big ones there. So I was given my unofficial scorecard, although I do give credit to the aggression of Samuel Palencia. I think the bigger shots landed by William Charles Fonseca. 10-9 in my book, Fonseca after 1, but we'll see how this thing plays out. 2 great young fighters. Palencia, 21 years of age. Fonseca, 20 years old. Round 2, time to fight on. More big shots in the opening seconds of the round by Fonseca. Trying to get inside that reach, and Palencia did just that. But he's going to have to throw once he gets in there. Tried to dig to the body with the uppercut. Again, Palencia trying to walk down Fonseca, but he's going to have to let the hands fly a little bit. Just getting outworked. There we go now. Palencia going to work there. Got in tight quarters, trying to get this fight in the phone booth and get inside that reach of Fonseca. Unloaded with a nice flurry of body shots. He's got to keep that output going. And every time he gets hit by one of those long-rangey shots by Fonseca, it's almost like hitting the reset button. Samuel Palencia trying to get creative and find angles. To get inside that reach. Action picks up here in round 2. As I mentioned, if there was a feeling out process, it was short. Pace is quickening. Attempted lead left hook by Fonseca. Again, Fonseca, although they are tied up here, is really good at circling out of that corner. Digging body shot again by Fonseca. Referee Ray Corona letting these guys work. Corner of Palencia just urging him to pick up the pace. He does do a good job of getting inside that reach. I mean, that's step 1, get inside the reach of Fonseca. Now starting to unload. Nice combination there by Fonseca and returning. The ebb and flow here on the West Coast, just like the Pacific Ocean. Back and forth seesaw action here in round 2. Palencia wiping the sweat there. Don't know if it was dripping down into the eye. Again, referee Ray Corona really letting these guys work. Final seconds now of round 2. We'll see if one of these two pugilists can put the exclamation point on the second round. Nice sportsmanship on display there between Palencia and Fonseca. Now, again, I think it was more of the same. Palencia would find a way to get inside the reach. Now, I think definitely a more active round for Palencia than round 1. But at the end of the day, I just think that it is William Charles Fonseca that is connecting with the meaningful shots. We saw a couple really nice exchanges. There you see a nice 4-punch combination there by Fonseca. Who you almost got a sense with Fonseca in that round that playtime was over. Looked like he was getting ready to light that fire, turn up that dial of intensity. But tell you, Palencia not going anywhere. He is a fighter that will get right in your face. But we'll see if he can get something going offensively. Both fighters acknowledging one another. Again, great sportsmanship here. Great way. That's the pillar of the sweet science. That's what it's all about. Bell to bell, take them to hell and earn their respect. That's what these two are doing young in their career. And again, although Palencia has 3 consecutive losses, not indicative his record of, the talent that he has. He's fought some tough competition as I mentioned. And he's certainly always game. He's in every fight that he laces him up. Nice left hook there by William Charles Fonseca. As Palencia tries to dig to the body, but you might be fighting fire with fire if you do that, because Fonseca he's real deadly when he digs down deep to the body. These two mixing it up in tight quarters again. Corona will step in there this time. Uppercut by Fonseca. Starts to let those hands go a bit. Does William Charles Fonseca here. Round 3 of 4. Got to believe that Fonseca is up on the cards, but certainly not taking his foot off the accelerator. That is for certain. Neither guy has been on their bicycle in this one. They are nose to nose, toes to toes. Type of aggression you love to see with two hungry young fighters. You add their ages together, and I'm still older. Just goes to show you, young talent here. DMG. Pace slows ever so slightly. Again, the human game of chess, the sweet science on display as Palencia tries to corner him again. But when he's got inside, he hasn't been able to hit with anything too devastating. Throw some quick combinations to the body will Palencia, but no real power shots thus far by Palencia. The instincts are there. I mean, to get inside the reach is something that a lot of fighters would have a problem with. And now we've got a real firefight. That was a nice uppercut by Palencia. Just when I say he hadn't hit any real power shots, he definitely caught Fonseca with that. Right under the chin and nicely done. And we'll see if Palencia can capitalize on that. Can't be a one-and-done type of situation. Perhaps the best round, especially with that uppercut for Palencia. Definitely can make an argument that Palencia won that third round. So it could make things very interesting here going into the fourth and final. Be a big opportunity for Palencia to try and even the score. And if you're William Charles Fonseca, you can't put it in cruise control. Not that it was a bad round by Fonseca by any means, but I just think that uppercut, was the standout shot of that round. First real power shot landed by Palencia, and it was a good one. So might have made things a little interesting here going into round 4. So if you're William Charles Fonseca, you realize...
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both warriors. This is the 4th and final round.
Both fighters embrace going into the final 3 minutes of this one. Great first contest at Night of Champions. DMG Boxing in the historic Fox Theater, Pomona, California. See who wants it more. Fonseca again trying to use that reach, fight at range, and not allow Palencia to get inside as he's been able to do throughout the fight. I think Fonseca is at his best when he can utilize that reach. A little slip there by Palencia. Action resumes. Again, 4th and final round. The old adage, don't leave it in the hands of the judges if you're a fighter. We'll see if either one can finish. Both have proven to be durable in this 4-rounder. Both have now eaten some good shots. Good shot to the body by Palencia. Oh, taking a full lap around Palencia there was Fonseca. Fonseca landed some real nice power shots early in the fight. We'll see if he can get back to that. Certainly measuring with the jab. Nice combination inside by Palencia, who, in my estimation, has been the busier of the two fighters here in this final round. Might be trying to make a case for a draw if he can keep this up, and it's going to be Fonseca who's, it's really his fight to win at this point. Also, his fight to let slip away. Can't allow that to happen. As Palencia maybe was holding on to a little in that gas tank in those first couple rounds, because he's kicking into the reserve tanks here. But nice 1-2 combination there by Fonseca. Mouth wide open, though, by Fonseca. He's definitely feeling the effects. It has been a frenetic pace. Another good exchange. Two great warriors going toe-to-toe here. Dirty boxing out of the clinch to the body there. Went Fonseca. Tell you, if we had, we were counting the punch numbers here. I think more being thrown by Palencia here in the 4th and final round, but we'll see how it goes. Final seconds to go now, and now Palencia was, aggressive throughout the fight in terms of trying to walk him down, but now the difference is he's starting to unload with the shots as well. Final bell rings. This one will go to the judges' scorecards, and Palencia really started cooking with gas in the later rounds, so it'll be interesting to see how the judges score this. I mean, it was really the tale of two halves of this fight. I mean, I would say that there's a good case could be made that it's 2 rounds apiece. This thing, we'll see what happens. Will somebody get their hand raised? Or was this one even Steven? Let's take a look back. Maybe a little trip in the Wayback Machine will help us figure that out. That was a nice combination there by Fonseca. Again, he really can whip those looping punches, but inside, Palencia did some good work late in the fight as well. Fonseca was very, very effective when he could utilize that reach and work off the jab, and he really did so early in the fight. Great back and forth action, great battle between two young athletes. Again, Palencia looking for his second victory. William Charles Fonseca looking to keep that undefeated record intact. Let's head back to the squared circle and make it all official to Ramblin' Ralph Velez.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I read the scorecards, a round of applause for our opening bout here at the Fox Theater. After 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Fernando Villarreal scored the contest 39-37, while judges Donald Howard and Carla Caillas scored the contest 40-36, all for your winner by unanimous decision. From Anaheim, California, William Charles Fonseca.
There you have it. William Charles Fonseca remains undefeated, improves to 2-0-1, and the judges certainly put a lot of stock in his power shots. He definitely was connecting with the bigger blows throughout the fight, but again, a great effort by Palencia. That fight might have been a little closer than the cards would indicate, at least in my estimation, but you can't take anything from the power of Fonseca. That was the difference maker. He did the more damage, and of course this is DMG. 6 more fights to come here live on BXNG TV, including our next one as Jose Casillas, you want to talk about undefeated fighters, 5-0, puts that O on the line against El Duro, Damian Alcala, who is very dangerous and has fought some very tough opposition. That's coming up next at Night of Champions. Ramblin' Ralph Velez will get us going here in just a second. In fact, he is ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing at a contracted weight of 128 pounds. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner from Chula Vista, California, by way of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Damian Alcala.
Damian El Duro Alcala, El Duro meaning tough, hard to deal with, and that's what he is. He's a very durable fighter. Comes in with a winning record of 8-5, 2 of his 8 wins by knockout. His losses to tough competition. He's coming off of a round 3 TKO loss to Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez, who is 13-0. So that tells you about the level of competition that El Duro has faced. Looking to get back in the win column here in Fox Theater.
And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner from Huntington Park, California, the undefeated Jose Casillas.
Now I mentioned that Damian Alcala has fought tough fighters. Well, no different here as he takes on that man. The undefeated Jose Casillas comes in a perfect 5-0. 3 of those 5 wins by knockout. That's 60% of his wins coming by KO out of Huntington Park. He's coming off of a round 4 knockout over Miguel Ceballos back in September, and a unanimous decision win over then 6-3 Andrew Othello Strode. Let's set the stage for this battle at 128 pounds. Should be a good one. Take it away, Ramblin' Ralph.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing at a contracted weight of 128 pounds. Brought to you by Fight Book, Happy Jewelers, Torque Law, Champions of the People, and Drive It. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Caillas. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Gerald White. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black and silver trim trunks. He went in officially at an even 128 pounds. His professional record, 8 victories, 5 defeats, 2 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Chula Vista, California, by way of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, presentando Damian, El Duro Alcala. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the purple, trimmed in gold. He weighed in officially at 127 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 5 victories, no defeats, 3 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Huntington Park, California, presenting the undefeated Jose Casillas. Once again, referee in charge, Gerald White, for instructions.
Damian, Jose, we went over the rules of the dressing room. Both of you guys know what I expect out of you. I'm going to let them work to here. You can work to right here. Let's touch them up. Let's go to work.
Tell you what, we got a good one for our second fight of the night. Damian Alcala, El Duro, taking on the undefeated Jose Casillas. And El Duro was a former Marine, a U.S. Marine. He was a helicopter mechanic. Didn't start boxing till he left the service. Didn't start boxing till 24 years of age. Alcala in the black taking on the undefeated Jose Casillas in the purple and gold. There's purple and gold championship colors here in the Los Angeles Lakers. Known for showtime, and Casillas can certainly put on a show. The Lakers, though, in a little bit of trouble right now with the T-Wolves. Alcala, again, though, very durable, as his nickname would indicate. And proud former Marine. Big shot, though. Lead uppercut by Casillas. 5 knockout wins between these two, so don't blink, you might miss something. I'm sure the Fox Theater showed its fair share of big blockbusters over the years. You might see an action blockbuster in this one. Lead left hook by Casillas. Just measuring Alcala. Again, Alcala, his last victory was a round 1 TKO over Alejandro Vasquez Perez. And he can turn your lights out as well. Alcala is one of those, tough. I mean, Casillas has just had a jetpack strapped to him, right? 5-0, everything going his way. But Alcala is just one of those durable guys that is going to, if you're going to win, you're going to earn it. It's great opposition for Casillas early in his undefeated career. Casillas loves that lead uppercut. Nice combination by Casillas. Got a lot of power in those hands to go with the speed. He's going to prove the durability of El Duro in this fight is Casillas, I'll tell you that. Going to work. Alcala is starting to be on rubbery legs here. It is an absolute onslaught by Jose Casillas. Accuracy and power. This guy has the accuracy, but he also can throw just devastating shots. Sweat flying off the brow of El Duro as Casillas continues to go to work. Inside a minute to work here, but it has been a clinic by Jose Casillas, showing why he is 5-0. And out of the 5 losses against very tough opposition, Alcala's only been finished once. So the fact that Casillas is doing this kind of damage in the first round shows how effective Jose Casillas truly is. Spectacular first round by Casillas as it comes to a close. And El Duro is going to have to dig down deep and come up with something, because that first round was all Jose Casillas going to work, putting in the work, and landing a ton of shots. Really impressed with that lead uppercut of Casillas. Let's take a look back at some of the action. There it is, and this punches and bunches. And again, as I mentioned, Casillas, there you saw wobbled him with the left hook. He's got speed, but he's got power behind it too. So he's a dual threat, is Jose Casillas. Impressive first round. And Damian Alcala, he's going to have to bite down on that mouthpiece and start throwing some bombs. It might be just, puncher's chance type of mentality for the proud former U.S. Marine. But we'll see if any alterations have been made to the game plan of Alcala. And for Casillas, we'll see if, he just keeps that cooking with gas, keeps the pedal to the metal, so to speak. This one's scheduled for 6, our first 6-rounder. You wouldn't know it by the way Casillas came out. He was fighting as if it was a 4-rounder. He is a fast starter, but settling back in is Alcala and trying to slow the pace, fight his fight. Nice digging body shot by El Duro. We'll see if El Duro can follow that up. Nice shot to the body in return by Casillas. Nice blitz moments ago there by Alcala. Showing a lot of composure for weathering the storm in that first round and trying to make it a little bit more of a methodical pace. Try and bring some inclement weather to the fireworks show that is Jose Casillas. Casillas trying to lower levels, maybe dig to the body. Casillas elusive there. It was a good opportunity for Alcala, but wasn't able to connect. Now big left there by Casillas. So the official there, Gerald White, told him to watch leading in with the head. Looking, those incidental headbutts can do a lot of damage. They can end a fight. Good work there by Alcala, going to the body, going downstairs and upstairs. Good surge here by Damian Alcala. Man, looked like he was in deep trouble in the first round. His corner got into his head because he is coming out here throwing for broke. I mentioned he's going to have to get aggressive, and he's going to eat some to give some, and he did there. He ate a solid left by Casillas, and again, Casillas with that lead uppercut is real dangerous. If he catches that flush, I don't care how durable you are, you might be hitting the canvas. But Alcala making it known that Casillas, as we mentioned, he's gonna stand in front of Casillas. He's not gonna go anywhere. He's gonna make it tough, and that has certainly been the case here in round 2. A much better round for El Duro, Damian Alcala. Was it enough to win the round? Not sure, but certainly a better effort by Damian in that round, and slowed the dominance of Jose Casillas, which was very evident in round 1. Let's take a look back at some of the action here. It's a nice attack there by Casillas, but working off the jab was Alcala. He slowed the pace. There you see it. Some good work there by Damian Alcala. A nice combination and did some damage. And Casillas was not exactly the runaway hurricane that he was in round 1. So we'll see if El Duro can build on that and try and take this thing into deep water and continue to chip away and slow the pace of Casillas. It was effective for him in round 2. See if he can keep it going. Time to fight on here. DMG Night of Champions, Fox Theater. 3rd of 6 scheduled in this battle at 128 pounds. Alcala was able to utilize that jab, slow the pace in round 2. He's got to continue to do that. Good movement by Alcala to circle out. Again, trying to work off the jab is Alcala. Nice shot to the body. Big, nice left there by El Duro. Look at El Duro go. And answering back. Again, another seesaw affair. Nice 1-2 there by Casillas. In kind, but not kindly. Now Casillas has him corner going to work. Another good one here. Competitive fight. Much like our first contest that went the distance. See if these guys can go all 6. Credit to the matchmaking here at DMG. And credit for someone like Casillas to get in there with a much more experienced fighter and somebody that's been in there with tough competition, the likes of Chop Chop Albert Gonzalez. Casillas looking for that uppercut in tight quarters. Nice straight right by Casillas. Looking to work off that. Trying to smell blood in the water is Casillas. And really opening up. Casillas slowed a little bit in round 2. He's finding that fury again in round 3. Chant goes out of Jose, echoing off the walls here. The historic Fox Theater, Pomona, California. We thank you for joining us wherever you may be watching on BXNG TV. Casillas continues to go to work here in round 3. Back to your regularly scheduled blitz by Jose Casillas. And circling off now is Alcala, but he's just not been able to find the range that he found in round 2. Because all up in his business is Jose Casillas here in round 3. Final seconds of the round. As El Duro does continue to prove how durable he is. But Casillas continues to prove that his offensive output is a force to be reckoned with. 4th and 6 coming your way next here at DMG Night of Champions. What an exciting promotion DMG has become in the Southern California region as we take a look back at the action. Casillas was very aggressive again. You saw there tripling on the uppercut. But in there was somebody that's double tough, and Damian Alcala, who has had some great moments in this fight, but just hasn't been able to sustain. Case could maybe be made for Alcala to have won round 2, but could be a sweep as well thus far for Jose Casillas on the cards. Casillas looking to be a pressure fighter again and nullify that reach by Alcala. That's when Alcala's been at his best, when he can utilize and measure with that jab. Shots by Casillas, defended nicely there by Alcala. But Casillas again, man, he loves to come up the middle with that lead uppercut, and it has been effective more times than not. Dig into the body is Casillas. And Casillas has really cut the ring off here. Real estate, location, location, location. And that's where Casillas has been. Cutting off the squared circle and going to work. And not slowing the pace at all is Jose Casillas. Just keeping that offensive onslaught going here in round 4. Alcala trying to dig down deep and battle back. But, you know, it might be 3 shots to about 15. Nice body shots there in tight by Alcala. We've seen some fights at DMG here end with big liver shots. I remember last time out in March, Michael Bracamonte is getting a KO victory by way of liver shot. We'll just shut the body down. So some better work thus far by Alcala than we saw in round 3. But continuing to press the pace here is Casillas. And it's, you know, it's tough to throw when you're backpedaling, when you're on your heels, and that is the position that Alcala finds himself in for the most part here. He's got to try and surge forward. Corner of Alcala urging him not to wait to bring it. Alcala's got to get more aggressive. When he is, he's been effective, especially to the body. Finds a home again there. Final seconds of the round now. This one going by quickly. Good work by Casillas late. Last second flurry in round 4 by Casillas. So although El Duro had his moments in that round, again, it's hard to outwork the output of Jose Casillas. He is a high-octane offensive machine. And El Duro has proven to be just that, and he's doing some damage to the body, but it's just not enough. I mean, El Duro, as Casillas is banking rounds here, is going to have to find a way to finish, and he's just not hitting with anything devastating enough to do the job. Although he did have a good, body shot, liver shot or two. Got to keep throwing it. Going to be heading to round 5 here momentarily. Will our second consecutive fight go wire to wire? Time will tell. With the pace that Casillas is keeping, I mean, he clearly is doing everything he can to get Alcala out of there, but they don't call him El Duro for nothing. 5 of 6 now. These two showing a whole lot of fighting spirit here in Fox Theater. Another big combination early by Casillas. Really put those punches together. And he's got a lot of power, as we mentioned early in the fight as well. It's not just, pesky, peppering shots. He throws with some power behind it. And again, the corner of El Duro just urging him to go back to the body. There you see Alcala answering, giving them what they asked for, but I think they want to see it come a little quicker. Fighting fire with fire, though, is Casillas sticking to the body himself. 5 of 6 scheduled at 128 pounds. Again, 7 fights tonight, including our championship main event. So you picked a good night to join us here at DMG. That was a big right hand there by Casillas. Really impressed with his mix of speed and power. He can put it all together. Casillas cornering him again. And you heard a little chant of Duro go out from the crowd too. So Alcala is earning some respect as well with his sheer toughness and will to fight. But Casillas is just always in your face. You cannot get a breather from this guy. There you go. Now exercise his will a little bit, shoved him off, did El Duro. Now he surges forward. That's what he's got to do. He's got to get aggressive. The bigger of the two fighters, got to fight like it. Got to push Casillas around a little bit. Nice uppercut, though, by Casillas. That is a big part of his playbook. Inside a minute to go now in round 5. Again, scheduled for 6. More great action. Look at El Duro start to throw. starting to get some confidence going. Bit of a sense of urgency by Alcala, and I would say in round 5 he definitely needs to do that and continue. He's in a position where he's going to need a finish. Speaking of looking for the finish, how about Casillas? Big right hand. That found its mark. Another lead uppercut cut by Casillas. And it's good to see some clashing in the center of the ring for once for El Duro, because he's been moving forward more than he has for the remainder of the fight. As I say that, though, he's back into reverse gear. 3 more minutes to go in this one. Final round coming your way at Night of Champions. Again, Jose Casillas undefeated, and 3 of his 5 wins so far by knockout. Tough to knock out his opponent here in Alcala, but when you have such high octane offense as Casillas, you're not going to outpoint this guy. In that 5th round, I think that El Duro started to walk him down a little bit more, got a little more aggressive, met him in the middle. It's what he's got to do in round 6 and hope that he can connect with something that'll drop him. I think that's his only chance of winning this fight at this point. If time ticks away, Alcala isn't winning this thing on the
cards. A round of applause for both warriors. This is the 6th and final round.
Both fighters touch gloves. 6th and final round. 3 minutes to go in this one. Can Casillas keep this frenetic pace going? I'll tell you, the guy is an athlete, that's for sure. He does not slow down. Again, a chant of Jose goes out. And I just really think that Alcala's got to meet him in the middle, surge forward, and make this a brawl. He's got to stand there and throw with him and hopefully outgun him in the power department. It's what he's trying to do, but that's easier said than done as well, because as I've mentioned, Casillas got some serious power as well. Just ask the 3 guys that he has finished. Look at big shots by El Duro. Shoe was on the other foot there momentarily as El Duro had Casillas backed up on the ropes. Little page out of the Jose playbook there by Damian Alcala. And again, I hear a little bit more of a Duro chant going on there. Damian has earned the fans' respect throughout this fight. Tough, gutsy performance. But he's got to pull the pin from that grenade if he wants to get his hands raised. More fireworks. And the durability of Alcala is going to be tested. That right eye, awfully swollen, nearly shut. But the former U.S. Marine wears it like a badge of honor. I'll tell you, Alcala is very tough. Another guy that hasn't met a fight he didn't like. And he's fought some very tough opposition. He's got a winning record. That's impressive when you factor in the guys that he has fought. Big left there. Catches Alcala off balance. Great round thus far by Jose Casillas. Kicking it into another gear here late in the fight. Again, a testament to his athleticism that he still has that gas in the tank in this 6th rounder. Tough stuff, though, by Alcala, digging down deep and throwing heavy shots. What a final round we've got here. Who wants it more? But it's just tough to deal with the non-stop pressure of Jose Casillas. A perennial pressure fighter is Casillas. Final seconds. Corner of Alcala saying throw everything, but it's Casillas throwing everything he's got left. One final big combination there by Jose Casillas. 6 great rounds of action, though, and just the type of fighter you want across from you if you're trying to test your undefeated 5-0 fighter, Jose Casillas, going in. A great performance by Damian Alcala as well. He had some great moments in that fight. I just got to believe when it goes to the cards, not enough. But showed his guts, showed his durability. You know, a lot of fighters don't live up to their moniker or their nicknames. This guy certainly does. He proved just how durable he is. Second consecutive fight of the night that goes the distance. Numbers will be crunched. We look back at the action. Just blinding pace by Jose Casillas throughout. But that, you know, that's what I wanted to see more, is that out of Alcala. You know, push him around a little bit, bully him, throw some power shots. He did it time to time. I just think it was too few and far between. I think if that had been his game plan from wire to wire, this might have been a different fight. But Jose Casillas, you can see, did a lot of damage. And Casillas, he can both float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He's got some power, as I mentioned.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Fernando Villarreal scores the contest 59-55, while judges Donald Howard and Carla Caiz score the contest 60-54, all for your winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated from Huntington Park, California, Jose Casillas.
So there you go. One judge gave Alcala 1 round, probably that second round. But Alcala, you know, had a gutsy performance. He'll drop to 8-6. Jose Casillas, hard-earned 6th victory, and but was in there with a very hard-nosed and tough opponent in El Duro, who took everything Casillas had to offer and stayed in there, showed his toughness. But Casillas was tested here and improves to 6-0, unblemished thus far. Sky's the limit for this 25-year-old. We'll see what's next for Casillas at DMG. It really is a night of champions and future champions. You might be looking at a future title holder in Jose Casillas. More action coming your way at DMG Night of Champions right here on BXNG TV. Again, your broadcast team, TK Todd Kennelly here with you in the booth. That man in the squared circle, Ramblin' Rafaelez. Our pleasure to bring you all the great action from the historic Fox Theater in Pomona. More to come. Coming up next, we're going to go back to a 4-rounder as the debuting Casey Macias takes on the undefeated Keven Abrego. That coming up next. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our upcoming bout. Here it is. Keven Abrego, undefeated thus far, 20 years of age, taking on Casey Macias. Long-awaited pro debut by him. A lot of buzz, a lot of fanfare. That's coming up next. Again, one of our great sponsors, Happy Jewelers, on the scene here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the video board. Try to scan this code if you can. If you scan it, if you put yourself in the drawing to win this men's essential stack, courtesy of Happy Jewelers. Again, try to scan the code on the screen if you can do it from there. And it puts you in the running for the men's essential stack, courtesy of Happy Jewelers.
Somebody's going to take away some jewelry in our main event later on, in the form of the WBF International Lightweight title. That's still to come in our big championship main event. as we give our fans in the house here a shot to win. That'd be probably pretty good for me to wear. I need some help in the style department, that's for sure. All right, Ramblin' Ralph going to keep things rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 4 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of Irvine, California, by way of Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois, KC Macias.
KC Macias out of Irvine, California, by way of the Windy City. He hopes to bring some gale force wins. How about the combination? You hear the music. How about a combination of Irish heritage and Mexican heritage? You think this guy likes to fight? I think that's a given. KC Macias making his debut here in the pro ranks.
And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner from Maywood, California, Keven Abrego.
Keven Abrego, the opposition for Macias. There you get a good look at him. 20 years old, so much younger. 11 years younger than the opposition. Undefeated 1-0 thus far. His debut win, a unanimous decision over Raul Chavez, who's experienced at 2-3-1. That fight took place back in September of last year. So 2 fighters early in their professional careers. Good look at Abrego. Abrego Macias. It's coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you again to the Fox Theater, Pomona, California. This is DMG Boxing live on BXNGTV.com and the World of Boxing channel on Radiant Television. This is the next attraction of the evening, 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Brought to you by Fight Book, Happy Jewelers, Torque Law, and Drive It. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Caiz. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Ray Corona. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black and white trunks. He went in officially at 124 3/4 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional debut fighting out of Irvine, California, by way of Chicago, Illinois, presenting KC Macias. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the black, trimmed with gold. He went in officially at 125 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 1 victory, no defeats, fighting out of and representing Maywood, California, presenting the undefeated Keven Abrego. Once again, referee in charge, Ray Corona, for instructions.
Feel good here? Nothing below there. You want to touch gloves? Do it now. God bless.
All right, we head back to the round of the realm of the 4-rounders, where anything can happen. As on the left of your screen there, the undefeated Keven Abrego, another fighter trying to maintain that undefeated record, taking on the fighter out of the blue corner, KC Macias. Again, you can't ask for a better heritage than Irish and Mexican if that guy's going to want to scrap. That is for sure. Out of Irvine, California. home of the likes of Colin Oyama, great striking coach in the combat sports world. Again, Abrego coming in undefeated. Elusive there was Abrego. Going to be hard to hit. Going to try not to pose much of a target there for Macias. And you know, Macias has been chomping at the bit for this pro debut, and he's just got to be careful not to be overzealous. Fools rush in, but a nice straight left there. And just smothering him right now is Macias. We'll see if he can uncork something, though. Devastating. This place is going bananas. Tell you, if Macias wins this, the roof just might get blown off of the Fox Theater. But Casey Macias has got to make those punches count. You don't want to come in overzealous in your pro debut and gas yourself out, even in a 4-rounder. Got to make those punches count. Out of the clinch. Some work there by Macias. Macias would love to make this a brawl. Nice jab there by Keven Abrego. Undefeated, his first victory, as I mentioned, unanimous decision win back in September. Casey Macias, ultra aggressive. He's going to try and walk down Keven Abrego if he can. Lead left hook there by Abrego. Answering is Macias. Macias headhunting here. Nice straight right. He's got Abrego in some rocky waters here. I do think, though, that if this fight wears on, that Casey Macias keeps throwing like that, his arms might get real heavy in round 4. Time will tell. Nice 1-2 combination there, answering now and putting punches together was Abrego, but ate a big shot in there as well. Final seconds of an action-packed first round. Macias aggressive, trying to lead the dance, trying to charge in there. But again, I think he flirts with the disaster of really wearing himself out. Going for broke early. And I think that Abrego, you know, is the more composed of the two fighters. We were reliving some of our past fight there for a second, but you can see very aggressive was Casey Macias, but just a matter of how many of those shots actually landed. And I don't think Macias elected to sit in between rounds, and that tells me, you know, that what I am fearing of him might be true. That his gas tank might get depleted real quick if he continues to throw with reckless abandon. He's got to settle in a little bit and work with a bit of pace here. We'll see if that is the case. I mean, you know, if it's going to be shock and awe stuff by Macias, he's got to connect. Because on the other side, Abrego's going to try and stay composed and reserve that gas tank. Be hard to hit as he's doing here. He's elusive as Abrego. Nice left by Abrego. Certainly the crisper of the two punches. Another 1-2 combination there by Keven Abrego. Now digging to the body. That'll do some damage. The youth again on the side of Keven Abrego as well. But Casey Macias certainly a tough customer. Corner of Casey Macias wants him to work off that jab, establish it. He certainly has the frame to do that if he elects to, but he loves to blitz in. And again, you know, as I postulated, I just think that Abrego, clearly the fresher of the two and the more scientific fighter. But if Macias can turn this thing into a brawl and continue to just lay his body weight, he's going to make things uncomfortable for Abrego as well. And Macias has tried to do that several times, make Abrego carry his body weight. Searching for the uppercut there is Macias backing him up. But again, I just don't know how much he's going to have left on these punches. Can be, a classic mistake of a debut fighter is throwing it all out there from the get-go and finding yourself in trouble in deeper waters. Starting to put punches together now is Keven Abrego. He's starting to time those shots and find a home. Looking for the uppercut up the middle to the body was Macias, but out of there was Abrego. Abrego now digging to the body, and that will also test the gas tank of Macias as this thing wears on. Inside half a minute here in our second of 4. Entertaining scrap between the debuting Casey Macias and Keven Abrego. An interesting challenge for Abrego to face. It's a kind of a brawler, unorthodox type of offense here by his opponent. Round 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to introduce a few people in the crowd. Newly signed DMG boxer Ottar Ernosian, co-host of the 3 Knockdown Rules, Steve Orale Kim, and world-class trainer Henry Ramirez.
Taking a look back at some of the action now from round 2. And that fatigue, although you see some good shots inside by Casey Macias, I think that fatigue became a factor. And Keven Abrego is just a little quicker on the trigger. And again, the body language here. Abrego sitting down, cool, calm, and collected. And you got Casey Macias not electing to use the stool here in between rounds. Macias looks like he wants to start this third round very aggressively. Looked like he wanted to get the jump. Got dropped to a knee there. And that is scored as a knockdown. As Abrego caught him with a nice shot, believe it was a right hand. Sense of urgency for Keven Abrego. He's looking for the kill here. Feels that he has Macias in trouble. We'll see if Macias can weather the storm. Straight right by Abrego. Going to work now. Shot after shot. But look at Macias go, trying to trade. And Abrego's got to be careful that he doesn't get too wild in there and catch a big shot because, Macias is a big dude. He's going to have some power if Abrego runs into a big shot. Casey Macias showing some toughness after getting dropped to a knee as Abrego was not immediately able to capitalize and put this thing on ice. But Abrego still has a long time to work here, almost 2 minutes to go now. And you're going to have to really question the toughness here if you are, and look at that, cat and mouse tactics here. Cat and mouse tactics by Abrego, making the big cat chase. And Macias cannot connect here as Abrego's having a little fun, making him chase and depleting more of that gas tank. But Abrego's got to unload as well and does to the body. That's been a successful weapon for Abrego throughout the fight. The corner of Macias urging the official, saying, hey, he's hitting the back of the head. Certainly could have there. Couple good shots here by Macias. I tell you, he's tough, as his heritage would certainly indicate. You're Mexican and Irish, you're going to be tough. Look at Macias, though, trying to corner him, but I just think Abrego might just be too quick for that. But Abrego can bob and weave all he wants. He's got to get back to what dropped Macias earlier in the round. Start connecting again with some big shots. As Macias right now, other than immediately after, has really been the aggressor since that knockout. He's been the one chasing. Final seconds of round 3. So that one's going to be, a 10-8 round if it goes to the cards. Knockdown there by Keven Abrego dropped Casey Macias. As we're going to head to our 4th and final round here momentarily. I'll credit the toughness of Macias to survive. Let's see. We'll get probably another look at some of the action, hopefully that knockdown. There it is. Combination. It was that right hand that dropped him. Scored as a knockdown, and rightfully so. But Macias was able to show his intestinal fortitude and survive round 3. Make it to the 4th and final in this his professional debut.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both warriors. This is the 4th and final round.
Will this one go the distance? They stand toe-to-toe in the middle of the squared circle to start the 4th and final round. And Macias is throwing some big shots. Where's he finding this from? Showing a lot of heart here after getting dropped in the previous round. And we'll see how long Macias can maintain that pace and that surge, because Abrego made Macias chase much of that 3rd round after the knockdown. But if Macias is going to go out, he's going to go out on his shield here. I mean, he is throwing, not backing down. Definitely the best round thus far for Casey Macias. Trying to make the undefeated Abrego earn it, make him know he's in a fight. Surging forward there was Keven Abrego. And again, Abrego, if he can make Macias miss and then counter punch. Nice offense there by Abrego. Big shot the other way. But Macias just has trouble capitalizing. He's caught him with a couple nice shots here in this final round. But I just don't know how much he's got in the gas tank to double up on it. It's one shot here or there to the body. Macias showing a lot of toughness. Look at Macias go. Overhand right. The big brawler wants to make the most out of his pro debut. Give him something to remember. He's got a minute to go. Can Macias dig down deep, catch lightning in a bottle, and find a way to finish this thing? Certainly his best round of the fight. But he's not only fighting Abrego, but fighting fatigue as well, which is a tough, tough opponent. Chant goes out in unison of Casey. Great atmosphere here in the Fox Theater for this one. Electric atmosphere. But right now, Macias' punches look like they're underwater, as I thought they might. Although he's thrown some big bombs throughout this final round. Abrego happy to backpedal there at the end of this one because he feels he could go into cruise control after banking the first 3 rounds. I gotta believe that Casey Macias won that final round but likely 3-1 here on the cards. But Macias showed a lot of toughness. Came out like he got shot out of a cannon in round 1, but a lot of those punches weren't connecting, and that cost him throughout the fight as he had to fight that fatigue. But he showed me something in this final round. He dug down deep. He brought the fight to Keven Abrego in that final round, and certainly, if nothing else, gives himself, his fans in the house and his camp something to be proud of. And that is, he's got true grit. He's got that warrior spirit, that fight on mentality. And to be able to battle the fatigue that he must have been facing at that point and put together that final round and connect the way he was able to for most of it, that is something to hang his hat on there after taking on an undefeated opponent here in his debut. But great work throughout by Keven Abrego. Showed incredible quickness in his hands, great sportsmanship and class.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I read the scorecards, a round of applause for the DMG team, including the matchmaker for making these wonderful fights so far. Ray Alcorta, thank you very much. After 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Fernando Villarreal scores the contest 39-36, while judges Donald Howard and Carla Cay scored the contest 38-37, all for your winner by unanimous decision. From Maywood, California, Keven Abrego. And a very big round of applause for his very game opponent in his professional debut, Casey Macias. Thank you, gentlemen.
Great heart shown by both. Keven Abrego remains undefeated, scores his second consecutive unanimous decision victory. But it's got to feel good for Macias to know that he won a couple rounds there in the eyes of the judges and really put on a gutsy performance, especially in that final round. I just think if he maybe hadn't gone for broke so much in round 1, and
once again, guys, these fights are brought to you by
could have carried things through round 2 and 3 a little bit differently. It could have been a different story.
Champions of the people, make sure you stop by outside and try the Torque Law punch machine. Also, make sure you're scanning the cue card for the set from Happy Jewelers. The QR code will be flashing up here once again in just a few minutes. Make sure you guys are scanning that cue card.
Another big win there. And another good battle that goes the distance here at the Night of Champions. Brought to you by DMG, and you're watching it right here on BXNG TV. And we thank our sponsors, including Happy Jewelers. I'm happy with the action so far. And it looks like we're going to keep it rolling. Also, Torque Law representing the people. Coming up next, Bryan Domingo searching for the first victory of his pro career takes on Mr. Showtime, Niguy Sims, looking to improve past that 500 mark. It's coming your way. 4 rounds in the super lightweight division is up next. Fox Theater, known as one of the Hollywood glamorous cinemas back in classic Hollywood. Certainly our ring card girls, very glamorous, very beautiful. Great atmosphere here at DMG Night of Champions. We thank you for joining us. Again, Happy Jewelers, one of the sponsors. Some jewelry will be awarded in our main event later on. Championship main event still coming your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for our ring girls tonight, courtesy of DMG Boxing and Fight Book. Give them a round of applause, please, our ring girls. They are working hard. Also, DJ Adam Mixology, we appreciate you, man, spending all afternoon. We are 3 into our 7-bout fight. Of course, our main event, the WBF International Championship, coming up shortly.
You heard Ramblin' Ralph say it, 3 fights down. Great contest, 4 to go. Let's go back inside the squared circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 4 rounds of boxing at a contracted weight of 140 pounds. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner, Niguy.
Mr. Showtime, Niguy Sims. Great reception for him. Had a debut loss, majority decision, versus Oscar Trujillo Enriquez, who's now 2-0-1, by the way, undefeated. But then he turned it around, did Sims, coming off of a unanimous decision victory over Samuel Palencia. We saw how tough Palencia is earlier on. That fight took place back in February in the OC Fairgrounds.
And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner from Temecula, California, by way of Guatemala, Bryan Domingo.
Bryan Domingo searching for the first victory of his pro career out of Temecula by way of Guatemala, coming off of a majority decision loss to Jesse Zuniga, who's now 2-1. Also a unanimous decision loss to William Charles Fonseca, who we saw victorious earlier on. So you see some of the parity going on as we head back to the squared circle and Ramblin' Ralph to set the stage for this battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you again to the Fox Theater, Pomona, California. This is DMG Boxing, live on BXNG TV and the World of Boxing channel on Radiant Television. This is the next attraction of the evening, 4 rounds of boxing at a contracted weight of 140 pounds. Brought to you by Fight Book, Happy Jewelers, Torque Law, Drive It. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Casillas. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Gerald White. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the yellow trimmed with white. He went in officially at 138 3/4 pounds. He is a veteran of 2 professional fights, fighting out of and representing Compton, California, presenting Niguy Sims. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing black and gold trimmed trunks. He weighed in officially at 138 1/4 pounds. He is also a veteran of 2 professional fights, fighting out of and representing Temecula, California, by way of Guatemala, presenting Bryan Domingo. Once again, referee in charge, Gerald White, for instructions.
Bryan, the guy. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I'm going to let him work to here. The trunks are good here. We're going to touch him up. Let's go to work.
4 rounds of action coming your way at DMG Night of Champions at 140 pounds. Both fighters with 2 professional fights under their belt. Bryan Domingo, the man to the left of your screen in the black and gold, looking for the first professional victory of his career, taking on Mr. Showtime, Niguy Sims, who is coming off his first professional victory, unanimous decision victory, as Sims tries to keep that momentum going, and Domingo, no doubt, hungry to get in the winner's circle. Domingo, a southpaw. Sims caught him, coming in with a short right. Good movement by Sims, who is able to counter Domingo when he comes in. Domingo now getting aggressive. And as can happen with the orthodox southpaw fighter, you might get a clash in the heads. You might get them to, step on each other's toes a little bit here, as Niguy Sims now tries to establish the jab. But I'll tell you, Sims is pretty dangerous in reverse. He'll throw in reverse gear and try and catch Domingo coming in, circling off, out of the clinch. Gerald White separates the 2. Domingo's never been finished in his 2 losses, 2 decision losses thus far. He's been back to the drawing board. Tell you, Domingo aggressive, as winless fighters certainly are, and but showing some good aggression early is Domingo. And if you're Sims, Sims doesn't want to work off his heels this entire fight. That's what he's been doing. He's been, successful, but Domingo going to work here. Domingo got caught with a couple nice tight rights early, but Domingo's starting to surge in and connect. 4th of 7 big fights coming your way here in the historic Fox Theater. 1-2 combination by Domingo there. Nice right hand there by Sims, and now it's Sims that starts to surge forward. Niguy Sims out of Compton, California. Great athlete. Mr. Showtime would love to prove that he lives up to that moniker, looking for the first knockout win of his career. Coming off of a unanimous decision win over Samuel Palencia, who we saw earlier. Tough fighter. But Bryan Domingo, he's aggressive. He's hard-nosed, compact. Small strike zone, low center of gravity, and he comes throwing. And it's going to be a tough round to score. It depends what the judges like flavor-wise. Do they like the counter-punching of Niguy Sims, the precision? Or are they going to see that Bryan Domingo was the one surging forward for the vast majority of that first round and connecting with some powerful shots? We'll see if it's a factor as this 4-rounder rages on. Official Gerald White taking a look at both fighters in their corner. Good stuff by both in round 1 as we're set for round 2 of this 4-rounder at 140 pounds. Let's call it super lightweight. Good stuff to come, including the return to the Fox Theater of the undefeated, terrible Terry Washington. And, of course, later on, the undefeated Mathias Radcliffe looking to claim championship gold in our main event against Ezequiel Flores. Round 2, off and running. Time to fight on here at DMG. Straight left there a second ago by Domingo. And Domingo like a buzzsaw here. And if Sims, wants to counterpunch and fight off of his heels, Domingo trying to make it tough to do that because he is coming with relentless pressure now. Taking the center of the ring now, though, is Niguy Sims. Trying to change the pace of this. But Domingo blitzes in yet again. The corner of Sims saying, look at his body, and it is wide open as Domingo goes almost squarely upstairs. Looking for the big overhand left there was Domingo. Nice straight right by Sims. Starching right by Sims. And I like what I'm seeing with Sims here. He was in reverse gear in that first round. He's trying to cut off the ring and claim the center of the squared circle here in round 2. A little bit more aggression by Niguy Sims. Starts to push Domingo around. Now puts punches together, does Sims. That's what he's got to do to find success. Sims getting more comfortable here and let loose with his hands a little more. Big swing and a miss by Domingo. And certainly the crisper of the two punchers is Niguy Sims. Bryan Domingo, though, man, I'll tell you, he will bring the fight to you, that is for sure. He's a tough brawler when he gets in there. Inside a minute to go here in the second round of action. But much like Casey Macias, I don't know if Bryan Domingo can keep this pace of just going and throwing with reckless abandon. Time will tell. I would say that Sims certainly the more scientifically sound of the two. But if Bryan Domingo can make this thing a brawl, he might just, if that door cracks open, he might just knock it down. Final seconds now of round 2. And one final straight right there by Niguy Sims, who I think spent a little less time on his heels and was surging forward, as I mentioned, cut the ring off. I think a better round for Sims. The first one could have really gone either way, as I mentioned, but I think this round, in round 2, Niguy Sims really was able to settle in, execute his game plan more successfully, and although Bryan Domingo continued to blitz in, didn't connect with the vast majority of those shots, and some good work by Sims, including a starching straight right hand, probably the punch of the fight thus far. Quickly approaching round 3 of 4 here in our 4th fight of the night here in the Night of Champions. And you can see Bryan Domingo, he's chomping at the bit. He wants to get aggressive again, and he does have ruthless aggression, that's for sure. He just needs a little bit more efficiency to go with that ruthless aggression. Counterpunch again there by Sims as Domingo charges in. Now Sims has got some good body movement, but he's got to up the output a little bit. Does Sims? He is a beautiful counterpuncher. I will give him that. That was a beautiful counter right hand by Sims. But he's got to follow it up. Sims really trying to measure those counter punches. Does so again. Nice counter right hand by Sims, but then he's got to follow it up. And I really think this non-stop flurry by Domingo without a ton of payoff is really going to starch that gas tank. And this ring might become a dissection pan here for Niguy Sims, where he can sit back and start to pick apart Bryan Domingo. Nice little combination there by Domingo. Caught Sims with the left hand. Surging forward again. And if Niguy Sims is going to sit back and wait, he's got to wait and then counter. He's got to throw. He's got to find his timing. Making Domingo miss, and Domingo is fighting some fatigue as well. Continues to throw for broke. Now Domingo surging forward again. We got ourselves a scrap here in the Fox Theater. Niguy Sims is cool, calm, and collected. But he's got to crank that dial of intensity and output at some point. Looking for it now, measured him with the right hand. Did Niguy Sims, looking for it again. But he's kind of gotten in the game plan. Boy, just out of harm's way there was Domingo. That could have been a nasty counter punch. Didn't find a home. Oh, we got laceration here. It might have been from a headbutt on the inside there because that happened quickly. Came out of nowhere. And trying to target it now is Niguy Sims. And we'll see if we can take a look back at that. I got to believe, as can happen with Orthodox versus Southpaw, I talked about you might have a clashing of the heads, and it might have been a headbutt in there in tight. Here we go. Let's take another look here. Gonna see if we see that clash of heads. And I really do believe that that is what happened. This is where the cut man earns his money. We'll see if they can clean up the kisser of Bryan Domingo. See if he can continue to battle here in the fourth and final round. He has certainly brought the fight to Niguy Sims throughout. I think the doctor's going to maybe take a look here. We got the green light. We will see our fourth and final round of action, and it does look like the corner of Domingo cleaned it up pretty well there to the liking of the doctor, but that is certainly going to have a bullseye on it if you're Niguy Sims. And Domingo's kind of that injured animal now that is just going to fight with reckless abandon, and you see it here. These two might as well have Velcro on them. They are stuck together. Sims is really looking for that right hand to the lacerated eye. He'd love to put this thing away if he can and get his first finish victory. Blood now streaming from that cut. He is wearing a crimson mask. Is Bryan Domingo, and I might be wearing a polka dot shirt home. They're right in our lap here. Ramblin' Ralph running for higher ground. He doesn't want to be wearing any DNA. Inside 2 minutes to go now in the fight. And a big right hand there by Sims. And that cut is really proving to be a factor for Bryan Domingo. But man, oh man, is this guy tough. Does he have a lot of fight? A lot of fire in his belly, does Bryan Domingo. In there with the surgeon-like precision of Niguy Sims. Again, firing out of the corner is Domingo. Glad that this fight was able to continue, but that is a pretty nasty cut there. But it's just kind of to the side of the eye, not directly above. So I don't think necessarily flowing into the eye too much. Looking for the right hand again there was Sims. Caught him there. And Domingo is fighting with everything he's got. He's got the blood of a warrior pumping through his body, but a lot of it is exiting his face right now. But a nice shot there by Domingo. And I will say that Sims is being smart not to get overzealous looking for the finish and leave himself open, because the brawler Domingo could catch lightning in the bottle. And Sims, from the beginning, his game was wait and counter. He's done that, and he's mixed in a little more aggression now after that laceration. Final seconds of the fight here. We'll see if Sims can pressure late, trying to do just that. Another great war here in the Night of Champions. Tell you, some fun fights aplenty. Some great matchmaking as there has been some furious action here. Class shown by both. And we'll take a look back at it. You can see it was a nasty cut. It was targeted there by Niguy Sims. But Domingo just kept surging forward. There's no quitting this guy. And he got targeted on that eye. And a good round by Sims. And very composed, like I said, cool, calm, and collected. Ice water in the veins for Sims. Yes, he targeted the eye, but he didn't take any uncalculated risks. He did what he had to do to take advantage of the laceration, target it, catch Domingo with some nice shots. Some shots the judges will certainly remember. As another fight goes to the cards. When we started the night and saw a good amount of 4-rounders and a 7-fight card, started to think this might turn into a quick night. That hasn't been the case, because there's no quit in the heart of the fighters thus far on this card. Win or lose, they're leaving it all in the ring, and Ramblin' Ralph here to make this one all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Carlacay scored the contest 39-37 for Sims. Overruled by judges Donald Howard and Fernando Villarreal, who scored the contest 38-38, declaring this bout a majority draw.
Well, there you have it. And certainly Niguy Sims doesn't seem to agree. Domingo won't earn his first victory, but showed a lot of toughness in that draw. And I think, because Bryan Domingo, was throwing the entire fight. He was the aggressor. I think that Sims played the waiting game just a little too much. Proof that good things don't always come to those who wait. Niguy Sims played the counter game, and I thought he did very effectively. In my mind, he did enough to win that fight because, Domingo surged forward, but not connecting that much. But I think the judges like the toughness of Domingo and the aggression.
Sponsored by Fightbook, Happy Jewelers, Torque Law, Champions of the People, Drive It, and of course, DMG Boxing. Don't forget to visit the Torque Law punch machine out there. And again, scan the QR code for the Happy Jewelers set. Happy never looked so good.
More action coming your way. Josh Navarro, who's coming off of an incredible upset victory. More on that to come. Tries to even out his record as he takes on El Torito, Ivan Zarate. That's coming up next here at DMG Night of Champions. And of course, you're watching us on BXNG TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner from San Pedro, California, Ivan Zarate.
El Torito, Ivan Zarate, fighting is in his family. He's been training with his brother, Isaac Zarate. You know, had some losses, changed camp. He's been a better version of himself. He had a round 1 knockout over Roberto Rodriguez, handing Rodriguez his first loss. And he's coming off of a unanimous decision win over Raul Macias. He had losses to Daniel Santiago Alegre and Sean Brewer, but he's been surging back. 3 consecutive wins to start his career, and certainly seems to have the eye of the tiger, does El Torito. 4 victories, 1 by way of knockout.
And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner from Laguna Hills, California, by way of the Philippines, Josaphat Navarro.
Last time out here in Fox Theater, Josaphat, Josh Navarro, was the B-side fighter. He didn't get the memo. He had an impressive unanimous decision win over Luis Rubalcaba, El Diamante, who was undefeated 8-0 at the time, and Navarro handed Diamante his very first loss. His other win against Enli Juan happened back in his original home of the Philippines. We'll see if Navarro can follow up that incredible upset win. Here to set the stage, Ramblin' Ralph Velez.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you again to the Fox Theater, Pomona, California. This is DMG Boxing live on BXNG TV and the World of Boxing channel on Radiant Television. This is the next attraction of the evening, 6 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Brought to you by Fight Book, Happy Jewelers, Torque Law, and Drive It. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Caiz. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Ray Corona. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black and white trim trunks. He went in officially at 125 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 4 victories, 2 defeats, 1 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of San Pedro, California, and representing Maywood Boxing Club, presenting Ivan Torito Zarate. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing solid white with the flag of the Philippines. He weighed in officially at an even 124 pounds. He is a veteran of 6 professional fights, fighting out of Laguna Hills, California, by way of the Philippines, presenting Josaphat Navarro. Once again, referee Ray Corona for instructions.
A little high, so right here, nothing below here, nothing below there. You want to touch gloves, do it now. God bless.
Stage is set for this battle in the featherweight division. We'll see the fighter on the left of your screen there, Josh Navarro. Shocking win last time out over Luis Rubalcaba, undefeated no more. El Torito, really a resurgence lately for him as well. Talking about Navarro, as you see him there fighting in the white, 3 losses, but against opponents with a combined 11-0 record. So he's fought some tough competition, and as we mentioned, toppled a then 8-0 fighter last time. Big shots by Zarate early. Caught Navarro coming in. Throwing heavy leather is Torito. Nothing little about his horns in the early going. What an onslaught. We'll see if Navarro can survive. Does so far. Great composure by Josh Navarro to weather that opening storm and onslaught by Zarate. What a way to kick off this 6-round battle. Navarro with a good combination in his own right. Originally, out of the Philippines, now calls Laguna Hills down in South Orange County his home. Takes on very tough opposition. One last time out, but man, Zarate looked to run back that opening kickoff, I'll tell you that. But kudos to the toughness of Navarro, who was able to clear the cobwebs and has slowed the pace down and trying to establish that jab out of the southpaw stance. Navarro now trying to blitz in. Show some of these guys all tied up there in the corner. Referee Ray Corona letting them work this thing out. And will now step in. Incredible pace to kick things off here in this one. 2 guys that, although have eaten some losses, they are riding the wave of momentum. And they want to keep that wave going. And it's going to be tough because we got 2 game pugilists ready to scrap here. Official with some stern words there for Navarro, who will kind of lead in, with his head. And, we've seen it in our previous fight just how dangerous that can be. Nice combination in the corner to the body by Ivan Zarate. Yeah, not sure what to make of the decision with Sims. I think he just sat and waited too long in our previous fight. Didn't do enough in the eyes of the judges. That one was a draw. As they say, don't let it go to the cards. Final seconds now in this high-octane first round as Navarro trying to corner Zarate. Exciting first round. Shock and awe offense by Ivan Zarate early. And Navarro showed that he's a cool customer by just surviving it. Let's take a look back. There you see it, that early just blitzing offense by Ivan Zarate. But Josh Navarro showed that he's got his sea legs. He was able to brave the rough seas and really fought his way back into that round. But I think that that opening onslaught is going to be what really leaves the indelible mark in the eyes of the judges in round one. I would say most likely 10-9 Ivan Zarate thus far, but we'll see. And some valuable time in between rounds if Navarro needed to clear the cobwebs some more. This thing turning into a real slugfest firefight inside. Boy, both guys punching out of the clinch there. And I will say that, you know, Navarro will just kind of leap into his punches and surge forward. I would say, you know, the crisper of the two pugilists is Zarate with his shots, but, you know, he will lead in. Well, Navarro does so nicely with a body shot there. Big straight left to the body. That one went off the walls. And as we learned with Navarro against Diamante, they don't count this guy out ever. And we learned that in the first round as well, showing his toughness. This guy will hang in there. He's got time to do it in this one, 6-rounder. It's 2 of 6 scheduled at 126 pounds. Good shot there. Navarro trying to cut off the ring now. Straight left hand by Navarro. And Zarate not able to recapture the pace that he had in round one, as now it's Josh Navarro going to work. Zarate with some head movement though, tough to hit. Peppering him there up against the ropes was Navarro. Caught him with a nice straight right to put an exclamation point on that combination. Loading up the left. Out of the southpaw stance there was Navarro. Corner of Zarate asking him to reestablish that jab, double up on the jab, but he finds himself in the corner again here with Navarro. Counter left by Zarate. Well, if you like action, you like this one. They are bringing the pace. Navarro came in with a straight left, but Ivan Zarate really dug to the body there. 4-punch combination to the body, which will pay dividends as this fight wears on. As Zarate, you know, will throw more volume in tight. And if this thing does continue to go this way and go to the card, I think Navarro's propensity to try and load up the big shot might cost him. That remains to be seen. Let's take a look back at some of the action, though. That was a nice flurry, though, by Navarro, countering what I just said. There he was able to throw with volume in tight, but Zarate answered a lot in that round, too. Some combos to the body. Another well-matched fight by our matchmakers here at DMG. This guy's standing and banging. And I don't know, perhaps Navarro doing enough to even it up there. Hard to say, close round. A lot of back and forth, ebb and flow in this one. Round 3 of 6. Still to come after this. Washington returns to the Fox Theater, and of course our big title main event still to come. Nobody home for that right by Zarate. Again, trying to surge in. And got caught with a counter there by Zarate. Did Navarro. But this is how Navarro won last time out, is just pressuring. one on the cards against Diamante. It did Josh Navarro. Nice shot to the body by Zarate. It's been one of his primary weapons throughout this fight. He's found success. A lot of this fight taking place in the corner because Navarro loves to surge in. Can cover a lot of ground as he leads in with that big shot. Now piston-like shots there by Navarro. Tripled up on the left in tight, and now big shot to the body. And Zarate's got to get out of there. Zarate's got to establish that jab. Another looping left to the body by Navarro. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Keeps going back to that shot because Zarate's leaving that open. Navarro trying to set it up with the jab. Straight left hand. Backs up Zarate. Navarro again uncorking a lot of offense. Keeps an incredible pace. He is a pressure fighter to be sure. Beautiful counter by Zarate, as he has done throughout the fight. Loves to counter to the body, but then he's got to keep the pressure on to Zarate. Can't keep moving in reverse. He'll counter with one combination and then ease right back into this position. You got to think the judges are going to see this as Navarro continuing to surge forward. Straight left again by Josh Navarro. Another great fight. I cannot say enough about the matchmaking. No one has been, completely outclassed here. It's a 1-2 combination by Zarate. His corner asking for it again. Final seconds of the round. And it comes to a close. More great action between Torito, Ivan Zarate, and Josh Navarro. Both are trying to keep that wave of momentum. Both are coming in off of a victory, and they would like to string some victories together. We're at the halfway point of this one. 3 rounds down, 3 more scheduled. 4th round coming your way here. Let's take a look back at the action. And constantly moving forward, and I think Navarro wins that round as a couple times. There you saw him, backed him up with that left. He tripled up on the lefts to the body a couple times. Zarate would surge forward with combos to the body as well, but I just think that Josh Navarro was really in the driver's seat for the majority of that round. Zarate's got to find the aggression that he found to start this fight, and he's got to keep the accelerator down. Ivan Zarate, Torito's got to just keep moving forward. Nice shot to the body, but again, right back into reverse gear. What's to stop him from continuing to move forward? It's, looping left again by Navarro. And for Zarate, it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Zarate doing a good job to get out of the corner there. But you can't sit and wait. Just ask Niguy Sims. I just think that looping left to the body of Navarro is going to be the difference maker. It has found a home time and time again. There it is. Fourth of 6 rounds. In tight quarters again. Shots to the body by Zarate. Good work by both. Trying to get out of there was Zarate, but just overpowered by Navarro, who's really putting the pressure on, leaning on him, starting to push him around a little bit, is Josh Navarro. Ray Corona will step in. Just trying to throw his weight around here as Navarro, and Zarate has a tough time circling out of that corner. Another great aggressive battle here at DMG. No snooze fest here. Everybody bringing it, top to bottom on the card. Josh Navarro is like a linebacker that just continues to blitz into the backfield. At some point, you got to get your running game going and surge forward. Now Zarate's trying to do just that, and look at the success. Zarate would just keep his foot on the gas and make things uncomfortable for Navarro. Might be a different fight. Final seconds of the fourth now. And another blitzing attack by Navarro late. And more great action. But Zarate, when he gets aggressive, he finds success. Can he keep that fire burning in the fifth round? It's been a fun one, though. Good stuff by both well-matched fighters. And that has been the case throughout here at Night of Champions. Zarate does some good stuff. He doesn't maintain it. Almost like he's his own worst enemy. Just when he gets a surge going, he backs off. And he allows Navarro to surge forward again. And again, in the eyes of the judges, it's going to make Navarro look like the pressure fighter. And that certainly hasn't been the case this entire fight, especially if you remember back to how it all began. Round 5 of 6 here in the featherweight division. TK Todd Kennelly here with the call of the action. Another competitive battle here, brought to you by DMG. Nice shot there by Zarate. Good counter punch by Ivan. And that time, Navarro tried to blitz in, he paid for it twice. Swing and a miss by Navarro, and you got to Zarate if he can circle out of there. As Navarro loves to tie you up and push you back in the corner. Big left. Well, this thing turned into a battle here. Get your cameras ready. Somebody might go down. They keep throwing like this. It is tough to get out of the corner with Navarro because he will grapple and throw you right back in. You get in the corner with Navarro, it's like you're in the quicksand. Another great counter punch by Ivan Zarate. Good shots to the body. I'll tell you, Zarate's showing his toughness because when you got an opponent that's constantly in your face, making it uncomfortable, throwing you back in the corner, it can be very frustrating. But Zarate continues to battle. And Navarro showing, however, that his victory over Luis Rubalcaba, no fluke. I mean, he's showing that he's another one of those guys that his record just is not indicative of what he's all about. Straight left there by Navarro, going to work. Now shots to the body, a testament to his conditioning. Very aggressive. Got him with a nice shot. And then went right down to the body. See, because that's something Navarro will do. He keeps the momentum going, and that's been to the detriment of Zarate. He'll surge forward, and he'll back right back up. And you can't be in reverse gear with Navarro because he'll throw you around. He'll push you around, bully you. And that has maybe been the difference in this fight. And perception can become reality on the scorecards in a hurry. Final seconds here, round 5. Another beauty of a bout here. Great surge there by Zarate. But how about keep it going for the final seconds? Another round comes to a close. We got 3 more minutes to work. To Torito and Navarro. Been another good one. I will say both these guys' camps certainly had these guys in shape because the pace of this thing, it's been a breakneck pace, feverish pace. Both have the will to win. As we look back at some of the action. Again, great stuff by Zarate there. But when Navarro gets you cornered, that's when you're in trouble. And Navarro caught him with a nice straight, and then look at this work. Earlier in the round, Navarro caught him with a big straight left, and then immediately just shoe shining down to the body, kept that momentum going.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both fighters. This is the 6th and final round.
Navarro came out looking to embrace, and Zarate wanted no part of it. So playtime might be over for Torito. He wants to find a way to win this fight. And it's another one that could get interesting if it goes the distance. But I just love the difference in the demeanors there. Torito don't play that game. Man, sweat is flying, leather is flying, and bombs are dropping here in the 6th and final round. Navarro loves to load up that straight left. There we go. Zarate attacking, but he's got to keep it going. Right where Navarro wants to be. Or he can try and out-muscle you, push you around, and score in the process. Big swing and a miss here. And see if Zarate can continue to counter here as Navarro starts to get a little wild with his punches late in the fight. Slip by Zarate. And this has been a physical encounter. These guys get in tight in the clinch. Gets nasty in there. Big shots. And a nice counter. Again, I'll tell you, the counter game certainly behooves Zarate, but he's just got to keep it going. He's got to capitalize. Navarro trying to bully him back into the corner yet again. Zarate's had some great counter punches in this round. Another bull rush there, and Navarro will lead with the head. I mean, you got to be careful there. The referee warned him earlier, getting a little sloppy in there. And I'll tell you, if Zarate can time that and counter and get Navarro off balance in this last half a minute, he might be able to drop Navarro, and that would be a big difference maker perhaps in this fight. Who wants it more? Final seconds. Who's got a little something left in the clip? Who's got that little something extra? This one comes to a close. Another battle that goes wire to wire here at the Night of Champions. Champion spirit on display throughout the night. This one goes all 6. And oh man, another well-matched battle. The fast start of Ivan Zarate. The smothering, blitzing offense of Navarro. Loading up that straight left. The left body shots by Navarro. The counter shots by Zarate. How's this one going to go? We're going to see, but take a look back at some of the action. And I just think that Navarro constantly cornering Zarate and making it a nearly impossible task to get out of that corner for Zarate is going to be something that's going to maybe weigh heavy on the minds of the three very pivotal individuals that are sitting at ringside that hold the fate of these two fighters on their cards. Another great battle in which Torito showed his toughness, showed that he continues to be a better version of himself, where Navarro showed once again that his record is not indicative of who he is as a fighter. You know, came off of that impressive unanimous decision win over Rubalcaba, proving that Rubalcaba didn't just slip on a banana peel, proving it wasn't a fluke. Navarro showing what he's all about. Well-matched fight. Who will take home the dub? We're about to find out. Respect being shown by Navarro to the corner of Zarate. Two proud warriors.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Donald Howard scored the contest 59-55, while judges Fernando Villarreal and Carla Cai scored the contest 60-54, all for your winner by unanimous decision. From Laguna Hills, California, by way of the Philippines, Josaphat Navarro.
Second big win.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we are going to take a brief 15-minute
in Fox Theater for Joseph Navarro against an opponent with a winning record.
Terrible Terry Washington puts his undefeated record on the line, and
Josh
the WBF
Navarro with that victory improves to 3-3-1. He's got a losing record no longer. He improves to that 500 mark. Our co-main event and main event still to come. We're going to take a quick break as you take a look at the sights and sounds of Fox Theater. We'll be back with more great action right here at DMG Night of Champions.
Smiling back when they breathe, knowing that I feel. Thinking I die for you. Just and cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Like control, control, control.
Guys, you see that code on the screen? Scan that code and win the men's essential stack courtesy of Happy Jewelers. Happy never looked so good. Thank you guys for being a part of DMG Boxing. Again, scan the code. I'm going to scan it myself right here on my monitor. I may want to win that essential stack myself. Happy Jewelers. Scan the code. Don't forget, we have a raffle for Turk Law as well. $20 gets you a chance to win a real, authentic WBC World Championship belt. And if you buy the raffle ticket today, they are giving away the WBC keychains, which are worth way more than $20. So go get the raffle ticket. It is to benefit the first responders affected by the LA fires. Again, thank you for being a part of DMG Boxing. All right, guys, we're gonna do something nice for you guys right now since you guys have been really loyal to DMG Boxing. My girls are gonna start getting some merch together for you over here. And as soon as they get in that ring, you gotta make some noise. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell them not to throw the shirts out. These are limited edition, guys. DMG is the fastest growing promotion in boxing. And I'm telling you right now, 2 years from now, you're gonna say, man, I was out them first DMG shows where I had me that limited edition Army green shirt. Ooh, I might have to take that one. How many more of those are there? All right, give it out. It's all right. We're going to give it out right now. Some of my girls get in the ring, make some noise. DMG Boxing. We got a special guest we are going to introduce in just a few minutes. The newest signing to DMG Boxing. And also, the CEO, promoter of record, David Mystery, will be joining us inside the ring to talk about DMG Boxing. And then we're going to have him on the broadcast in just a few minutes. Scan the code, buy some food, prepare the merch. Here we go. Adam, you got to give me something fire up there for this, though. These girls are been working hard all day. Throw me some Cali style something up here, man. You know, these girls been working hard all day. All right, guys, if you want some t-shirts, you know what you got to do. You got to make some noise. Oh, what a throw. Upper deck. Oh, that was upper deck. Yo. Come play on my co-ed softball team. Yo, that went. Try that again. Oh, that one fell short. This side over here. Look, girls. Switch sides, girls. We're all over. This way, this way. Switch some sides. Can't let all the front row people get all the shirts. All right, when I get some shirts, I promise you guys up there, we're going to walk over there and we're going to throw them out from up there. I promise. We got you covered. Another round of applause for my DMG ring girls, please. They are the best in the business. We appreciate you. We appreciate DJ Adam. He's been mixing since like 3 this afternoon. No pee break.
Coming up next, Terrible Terry Washington, undefeated 2-0, returns to Pomona. And I'm being joined by David Mishery here at the broadcast position. And sir, I gotta tell you, kudos on the signing of Otar. What a feather in the cap it is of you and everybody at DMG. Anybody would be absolutely salivating to sign that guy.
Oh, absolutely. It was really tough to get this guy under contract. But, I got to give credit to Ray. Ray was able to pull all the right strings, push the right buttons, and bring a guy that is a generational fighter.
Absolutely. Just a world-class guy. What are your thoughts on what you've seen thus far at Night of Champions?
Really impressed. A lot of good fights. Everyone was, an evenly matched fight in my opinion. I thought that everybody got their money's worth.
No doubt about it. And coming up next, the return of the undefeated Terrible Terry Washington. Last time out right here in this building, his opponent didn't want any more in round 2.
Oh, what an amazing fighter. Terry is one of those special guys that comes along, once in a lifetime. Terry, was a 9-time national champion, international gold medal winner. His first 2 professional fights are knockouts in the first round. He so much reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. I see so much Floyd in him. And, I can't wait for Floyd to actually see this guy fight. It's going to be like looking in a mirror. And one unique stat, as an amateur, Terry had a better amateur record than Floyd Mayweather. So if we could have the same career that Floyd's had, then Terry will make his mark on boxing.
No doubt about it. Well, you want to talk about money, Washington's got dollar signs written all over him, that's
absolutely.
for sure. And he's got that superstar potential. And we're not going to have to wait long because he's coming up next.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, you handpicked an incredible venue, because if you're trying to make history with DMG, you couldn't pick a better place than such a historic location as the Fox Theater, which just turned 94 years old. I'm not sure if you knew that.
No, I didn't, but it's a beautiful place. This is
Ladies
our second
and
show
gentlemen,
here.
this is the
we're
next
real happy to be
attraction
here.
of the
We wanna
evening.
continue to
It
come
is
here.
the co-main event of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing in the junior bantamweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner. From Piedras Negras, Mexico, Jesus Alonso.
Well, I'll tell you what, David, if Jesus Alonso has anything going, he certainly has the edge in experience as a professional fighter. And, he had 2 consecutive wins, a unanimous decision over Isidro Galvan and a unanimous decision over Alexis Megadon. So he's riding a little bit of a wave of momentum and looking to play spoiler here against Washington.
Well, it's going to be a tough fight. This is definitely not an easy fight. But, in order to get Terry into where we want him to be in competition form, we're going to have to win fights like this, and we're going to have to progressively make the fights better and better as we move up.
And for Jesus, he's fought in Mexico and Texas, has not won a fight stateside yet, looking for his first U.S. win. We'll see if it happens here at Night of Champions. Tough task ahead.
I absolutely wish everybody luck. This is going to be a real true challenge for Terry.
And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner, fighting out of and representing San Bernardino, California, Terrible Terry Washington.
We're going to take a closer look at Terrible Terry, I believe. And as you look at the screen here, David, there you see it, was a medalist with U.S. Boxing, a 9-time national champion. I mean, this guy's got so much upside, it's scary.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's faster than lightning. Like Muhammad Ali used to say, right? Dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
He can certainly do that.
I see Floyd Mayweather in him.
The difference being, however, I think Terrible Terry is more aggressive and looking for the finish than perhaps Money Mayweather ever was. As we set the stage now, Ramblin' Ralph going to set the stage for our co-main event. Cannot wait for this. It's really must-see TV when Terrible Terry is involved.
Oh, absolutely. Terry's definitely a big-time show
Ladies
guy.
and gentlemen, we welcome you again to the Fox Theater, Pomona, California. This is DMG Boxing, and this is the co-main event of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing in the junior bantamweight division. Brought to you by Fightbook, Drive It, Happy Jewelers, and Torque Law. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Casillas. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Gerard White. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing solid black. He went in officially at 111 1/2 pounds. He is a veteran of 9 professional fights. One of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Piedras Negras, Mexico, presenting Jesus Alonso. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the blue, trimmed with white. He went in officially at an even 112 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 2 victories, no defeats. Both of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of and representing San Bernardino, California, presenting the undefeated Terrible Terry Washington. Once again, referee in charge, Gerard White, for instructions.
Jesus Terry went over the rules in the dressing room. Both of the trunks are good. I'm going to let him work to about right here. You're going to touch him up. You go to work.
I mentioned that Alonso doesn't have any U.S. wins. His opponents in the U.S. have a combined record of 17-0. It doesn't get any easier for Jesus this time out with Terrible Terry Washington, 2-0 undefeated. Both those wins coming in the first round. Here we go, co-main event time. Don't blink. Washington with that straight left poses such a challenge as a southpaw. He's as powerful as he is rangy in there, David.
Absolutely, and he carries a heavy punch.
Won his debut fight in Thunder Studios where he brought the Thunder, first round KO, and followed it up with a victory here, right here in Pomona, loading up that left hand early. Alonso's going to have to find a way inside that reach. Easier said than done. And Washington will he will get in a firefight. You know, he is not afraid to just get in there and mix it up. He's a notoriously fast starter, as we know.
Once the combinations start to fly.
Wild swinging right there by Alonso, trying to get inside, use it to get inside the range. Couldn't do it. And again, just talk about, you know, the Olympic pedigree of Terry Washington.
I mean, he's fought on an international level. He's fought so many great fighters. It literally gives him a real competitive advantage.
Voted most outstanding boxer in the 2024 U.S. Olympic trials. And has had everything going his way.
He's very technically sound.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's a scientific fighter, but he also has the power to back it up as well, which makes him just so dangerous. He's got style with his technique. He's got style on the back of his head as well. Pretty interesting cut he's got going there.
That's pretty interesting.
Going to work now. No one has survived the first round. And Jesus Alonso all too willing to stand there and mix it up.
Wow.
And that's really been the case, you know, with the blue corner fighters on this card is they are tough, they're durable, and they're not going to go down easy.
We wanted to deliberately bring in some great fighters and make these guys work. We caught him there.
And that's been the case. Just starting to pepper him now is Terrible Terry Washington. Unanswered shots, and there you go. Does it again. It's been rinse and repeat for Terrible Terry. Yeah. It's like we're watching a replay. 3 have stepped up, 3 have gone down in the very first round, another TKO win.
This guy's well on his way. You know, it's really hard for us to get anybody to want to fight him. They avoid him like they avoid Benavides.
I can't imagine why. Third consecutive finish for Terrible Terry Washington.
And this guy's a really good fighter.
Yep.
This guy's no chump.
No, Alonso is tough, and he's been in there with tough opposition, and he came in with an experience edge, but just, you know, blinding speed by Terry Washington. He's got the power to back it up. Let's take a look back. Why don't you take us through some of the action here, David?
Well, he caught him earlier in the round, and then right here when he connected, that was it. I mean, if the ref didn't step in when he did, he was going to hurt this guy bad. I mean, look at this. I mean, technically sound. Look right there, caught him with that. There he goes.
Had him off balance.
Oh my God, look at that right there.
Yeah,
that was it.
7 or 8 unanswered shots, and official Gerald White had seen enough. Jesus Alonso was getting outclassed there, and no reason to let that carry on.
He rocked him with that overhand right. And the guy's a southpaw, so, you know, when you can hurt a guy and wobble him like that, I mean, it's lights out.
He's got dynamite in both hands. Yeah, had him off balance. And then was the proverbial shark smelling blood in the water. Went for the kill, as he always does. 3rd straight, round 1. KO victory for that man, Terrible Terry Washington. How are you going to stop this guy?
I don't know. I think we're going to fast track him. I mean, this guy's going to be in title contention real fast.
All right, here to make it all official, our own Ramblin' Ralph Velez. This guy is excitement personified. Electricity. Man, you just feel like you're seeing something special. We'll take another look at how Terrible Terry was able to put him away.
He doesn't make any mistakes.
There was that right, caught him off balance.
And he's an amazing
Ladies and gentlemen, official time, 2 minutes, 41 seconds of the very first round. Referee Gerard White calls a halt to this contest. Your winner by way of knockout from San Bernardino, California, Terrible Terry Washington.
Well, I'll tell you, David, with signings the likes of Otar, with talent the likes of Terrible Terry.
All right, guys, I'm here with the winner here.
Let's hear from
Listen, all you can do as a fighter is just go to work. That's not your decision to be stopping fights. It's none of your concern. How do you feel? You come in here again, DMG Boxing again, and you make short work of your opponent.
I feel good. I appreciate everybody for coming out. The stand-up DMG Boxing Promotions, and it's BTA season.
Listen, you and I talked yesterday at the weigh-in about your goals. You're a hard worker. You have a lot of people behind you. You have new fans since the last time you were here. How does that make you feel that each and every time out, you're working hard and you're gaining new fans?
It makes me feel good. Each and every single time I step in this ring, I'm going to put on a show. That's a promise.
All right, guys, give a round of applause. Your winner, Terrible Terry Washington.
We're watching a star in the making.
No question about it. You just feel like you're seeing something very special with Terrible Terry Washington. And with athletes like that, it seems like the sky's the limit. It seems like the sky is the limit for DMG Boxing as well.
Well, with guys like Terry Washington and guys like Otar, definitely is. I always tell anybody that I speak to, when they ask me about Terry, I'm like, if I were Floyd Mayweather, it would be like looking in the mirror.
And still to come, our main event, WBF International Lightweight title on the line. History will be made because the title is vacant as the undefeated Mathias Radcliffe takes on Ezequiel Flores. How do you feel going into the main event here, David?
Real good. Mathias has earned the title shot. Ezequiel is no slump. This guy is really good, really strong, much better than his record. And he'll prove that here tonight.
Yeah, no question. In fact, if you look at it, his 4 losses come to opponents with a combined 35-1 record.
Well,
so
there you go. The guy hasn't backed down to anybody. You know, at the weigh-in, he was walking around like he was Mike Tyson. So I'm really curious to see how he performs tonight.
All right, and before we get to our main event, let's take a closer look at the competitors that will vie for the WBF International Lightweight title. Closer look at one of the challengers there, Ezequiel Flores. Talked about it, you know, winning record 6-4, not indicative of what he's all about. And you look at the fact that he's coming off of a split decision win over then 12-0 Rene Moreno, dished out the first loss to Moreno. That tells you all you need to know.
Like you said, combined records of 35-1.
Including a competitive loss to the likes of Amado Vargas, 12-0 fighter. So we'll certainly test Mathias Radcliffe.
Well deserving of a title shot.
Yep, he belongs. We'll see if he can take home the gold. And what does it mean to you as a promoter, you know, second show in, having such, you know, a prestigious main event with a title the likes of the WBF International Lightweight title on the line?
It's amazing, right? It puts us in a position to where not only are we putting on great shows and giving people their money's worth, but we're bringing our fighters opportunities that they didn't have before. So I feel good that I can bring Mathias and bring Ezequiel an opportunity to fight for a title. And hopefully Otar, with his WBA mandatory bout against potentially Lamont Roach, that could be great.
Would love to see it, that is for sure. As we await Ezequiel Flores, one thing we haven't talked about yet is that out of his 6 victories, 3 of them by knockout, so 50% of his wins have come by KO, so Flores does have the ability to turn out your lights.
He definitely has power, and he's definitely a good fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. It is the main event of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing for the WBF International Lightweight Championship. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner from Medford, Oregon, Ezequiel Flores.
Ezequiel Flores, too, after his debut unanimous decision win, strung together those 3 knockout victories. Had him 1, 2, 3 in a row. And
he's actually peaking.
yeah, there you have it. Well, he's picking a good time to do it when he's got the WBF International Lightweight title on the line. Cannot wait for this one.
It's definitely going to be a good fight.
You know, when you talk about, you know, naming this show Night of Champions, are we looking at a future champion right here? A few moments will determine that. But it's really been a night of potential champions and maybe future champions. It's what a great roster you're building here.
Yeah, this guy's going to put on a good show.
Looks to be in phenomenal shape. Definitely looks game and ready to go. And again, has fought a murderer's row of competition.
They're fighting for that belt right there.
That's what it's all about. Vacant title going home with somebody. Only one will be champion when the smoke clears here at Night of Champions.
And his opponent in this championship bout, fighting out of the red corner, fighting out of Reseda, California, presenting the undefeated Mathias Radcliffe.
Taking a closer look here, some of this footage.
Mr. One of One stands undefeated, a proud Uruguayan American from the San Fernando Valley. Future superstar Mathias Radcliffe fights for his first professional belt.
He has power.
Monday morning, a little before 9, just checking in, say hi, see if you had time for breakfast this morning. That's about it. So, talk to you later. I love you. Bye.
A star in the making, Mathias Radcliffe going to have a star-like entrance through the house here. And I guess he's going to do it his way. 9-0-1, 78% of those wins coming by knockout, 7 big knockout wins. As we heard in that video package, keep an eye on this guy, a future star of the sport. Is tonight his night?
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
5 years in as a professional fighter.
10:30 on Sunday, just calling to say hi and see how this day's going to go. We were thinking about coming over or not. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
He's proof positive how important family is to Mathias. 4 consecutive knockout victories coming off of a round 3 KO over Jason Buena Obra. Another star in the making, and this might be his coming out party here with the title on the line. Ramblin' Ralph gonna set the stage. It is main event time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you again to the Fox Theater, Pomona, California. This is DMG Boxing live on BXNG TV and the World of Boxing channel on Radiant Television. This is the next attraction of the evening. It is the main event of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBF International Lightweight Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner Peter Villegas, Executive Officer Andy Foster. It is also sanctioned by the WBF Supervisor in attendance, Derek Reese. It is brought to you by Fightbook, Happy Jewelers, Happy Looks Good on You, and Torque Law, Champions of the People. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Donald Howard, Fernando Villarreal, and Carla Casillas. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Ray Corona. And now, for the people in attendance here at the beautiful Fox Theater, Pomona, California, to the many more joining us around the world, live on BXNG TV and the World of Boxing channel. Let's leave the talk behind. Pomona, make some noise. It's time to shine. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner in this championship bout. He's wearing black, trimmed with gold. He went in officially at an even 132 pounds. His professional record, 6 victories, 4 defeats, 3 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Medford, Oregon, presenting Ezequiel Flores. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing green, trimmed with gold. He went in officially at an even 134 pounds. His professional record, 9 victories, no defeats, 7 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of and representing Reseda, California, presenting the undefeated Mathias Radcliffe. Once again, your referee for this WBF title fight, Ray Corona.
Look, nothing below there. Nothing below there. You want to touch gloves? Do it now. God bless.
Once again, Flores Radcliffe, the main event of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing for the WBF International title.
The wait is over. It's main event time. Flores, Radcliffe, title hanging in the balance. History about to be made here at DMG Night of Champions. Radcliffe, 7 big knockout victories. Has been deadly inside the squared circle, in there with a very durable and experienced Ezequiel Flores.
He can be very, very explosive.
Flores, though, working off the jab there as well. Respect being shown by both challengers, as neither is the incumbent champion coming in. The title is vacant into this 8-round main event, the WBF International Lightweight title. And certainly a hometown reception for Radcliffe. And you got to wonder if the travel from Medford, Oregon has any effect on the challenger. Heavy pressure now early by Radcliffe to the body, trying to counter upstairs is Ezequiel Flores. Man, Flores is tough. Stinging shots to the body by Flores as well. He's got some thunder in those hands. 10 knockout victories between these two. And I will tell you that Flores did not come here to lay down.
Exactly. I knew he was going to be tough.
Todd Kennelly and David Mishery here with the call of the action inside the historic Fox Theater in Pomona, California. We thank you for watching us wherever you may be on BXNG TV. Got a special one in the making. Tripling up on the jab there was Radcliffe and the lead left hook.
That was a good body shot.
Sure was. Echoed off the walls. And heavy pressure by Radcliffe. Nice combination in the corner, and referee Ray Corona letting him work. Aggressive stuff there by Radcliffe, but surging forward. Look at the speed in the hands there of Flores. Ebb and flow of this one, back and forth as Flores starts to surge. And I'll tell you, Flores has got some speed and power on his punches as well. These guys well matched. As indicative here in the first round.
As you stated earlier, his record, Flores' record, is not indicative of his skill level.
Yep, his losses to opponents with a 35-1 record. He's seen a lot in his time.
Looks like he hits really hard.
He sure does. But so does Mathias Radcliffe. Nice left hook there by the undefeated Radcliffe. Final seconds. Boy, this first round went by in a hurry. You could just sense the buzz, the excitement in the crowd for this one. First round in the books. Evenly matched opponents, evenly fought there. Both guys shined in that first round. We got the makings of a good one here.
I think I gave Radcliffe the edge. I'd call it a 10-9 round.
I would tend to agree. He did get Flores cornered and was unloading. Had a really good barrage, and we might see it here. I believe this is it coming up. Ray Corona let him work there, had him cornered, was digging to the body. There you go, bam, bam, bam. Unanswered shots to the body, then goes upstairs. Nice work there by Radcliffe.
And he came right back.
Yeah, but the punches of Flores are very crisp, as you mentioned. They've got some power as well, so.
We have a fight on our hands.
We sure do. And we got 7 more rounds to work. We've only read the first chapter of this book. But will it have a happy ending for Radcliffe or Flores? More heavy pressure by Mathias Radcliffe, who has been a knockout artist. Just hitting from all angles. Another barrage here by Radcliffe. Not where you want to be with Macias up against those ropes, where he can go to work. Flores showing some composure, though, and answering. He's got to find a way to circle out of there, though. Nice shots to the body by Flores. Boy, these guys are trading like Wall Street. Incredible exchange by these two. Both want to take home the gold. That much is obvious. But Radcliffe is such a pressure fighter, and he's such a powerhouse as a lightweight, too. If he walks you down, you know, it's very tough. He's just so powerful. See, is Radcliffe trying to cut off the ring here, take the center of the squared circle. But
that was a good shot right there.
Flores is patient, got caught coming in, however. And what a variety of shots being thrown by Radcliffe. Backs him right back up again, but look at this, man, I'll tell you.
This is a brawl.
It really is, and Flores does a fantastic job of fighting off his back foot. But, man, when Radcliffe starts to uncork like that and the unanswered shots, boy, what a pace we have set here in the second round.
Wow.
Oh, big shot there by Radcliffe, perhaps the punch of the fight thus far.
This guy comes right back.
He sure does. And when he makes contact, you hear it. It echoes off the wall of the Fox Theater. What a fight. And we're just getting started. And I would say that Flores needs to have an answer for getting walked back like this and being on the ropes, but he's doing a fantastic job of countering from that position. He seems very comfortable there, David.
No, I agree.
But were this thing to go all 8, I mean, just the body language is that Radcliffe is the one moving forward, the aggressor. And I think that's going to leave an indelible mark on the judges. But not many people survive to the end of the fight when they're in there with Radcliffe for that to be a factor. Final seconds of the second round. Nice 1-2 combination late by Radcliffe. Boy, oh boy, is there an energy in the building here.
Now this guy came to fight.
More great stuff by both. Mathias Radcliffe, I mean, he's used to walking people down, having his way, and finishing them. And you can see that very much is in effect, but Flores is so comfortable there, he'll answer as well. And what we didn't see there is Flores firing right back out of that corner.
Flores can definitely take a punch.
And he can dish him out as well. Heavy pressure there by Radcliffe, but Ezequiel Flores certainly had his moments in that second round as well. Third round coming. This one's living up to the billing so far.
How did you score this round?
I just think that Radcliffe is the pressure fighter. I would go again.
Another
10-9 to Radcliffe. I mean, he's not running away with it, and there is some good counter punching by Flores. But I mean, the guy that's moving forward and pushing the pace is Radcliffe thus far.
I agree. I got it 2-0 Radcliffe.
2018 thus far on the unofficial scorecard. Here of David Mishery, straight right there by Radcliffe. But these two certainly very much belong under the bright lights in the main event. I was going to say that Flores was, trying to maintain the center of the ring there, but easier said than done. Gets walked down by Radcliffe as well. Again, and just digging shots to the body, and those will put deposits in the bank as this fight wears on. You're going to be feeling those later if you're Flores. Now we see an aggressive Flores moving forward, and I think that's, you got to bully a bully, and Flores has got to do this. He's got to move forward.
There he goes.
Well, it looks as if we have truly saved the best for last here at Night of Champions.
Wow.
What a war thus far. Great stuff.
Going back and forth.
Seesaw matchup here. Oh, I think a complaint about the headbutt coming in. And that's going to happen when you got a guy that constantly moves forward the way Radcliffe does.
Flores definitely doesn't fight like a guy that's lost 4 times.
No, and is eating some big punishment here, though. And I think distance would be the friend of Flores right now, because this is going to exhaust you in an 8-rounder if this continues. If you've just got Radcliffe pressuring you the whole time, you got to carry that body weight around. He's constantly in your face, because Flores does have very crisp punches, but when they're in such tight quarters in the phone booth, he doesn't get a chance to utilize it that much.
He's actually doing extremely well as a counter puncher.
Yes. And now once again, Flores was trying to surge forward. Back and forth, seesaw stuff. Mathias able to walk him back yet again. But Flores has proven to be very comfortable here as well.
What a great fight.
This time Flores is able to circle off though, and look at this, nice combination to the body and then up to the head. And now you got Flores trying to push him around a little bit, exercise his will. And you can see some damage being worn over the right eye of Radcliffe as well. And look at Flores. He's got that blood pumping through his body.
Looks like Radcliffe has a mouse.
He does. He does. He's eating some punishment. We saw it there late in the round. I think it's above that right eye. And we've got the makings of a real fireworks show here. Again, it's just like a big powder keg here. Official coming over and talking to us about it's like a cut over the eye of Radcliffe. We'll have to keep an eye on that. No pun intended. And you could just see at the conclusion of the round, the confidence, and you can see it in the body language here as well in Flores.
I agree.
He knows he's very much in this fight, and he's done something that no one has yet, and that's show that Radcliffe is human. You can see the damage over the eye. Oh, boy. Some shots here after the break, and tempers are flaring here, David.
We're watching a great fight.
Sure are. And you know, you would expect tempers to flare when so much is on the line. Championship main event. Both guys want it so badly. Both guys put in the work in camp. They came in fantastic shape. This is what it's all about. It's what makes the sport so great. Who wants it more?
At the weigh-in, Flores was walking around like he was Mike Tyson.
Oh, he's double tough. And now, you know, the shoe's on the other foot as Flores, you know, is trying to muscle him around, and a nice, beautiful left there by Flores. And look at this. Flores starts to get loose with the hands here, David. Did you expect this? Wow, what an uppercut by Flores.
Oh, wow.
And a counter by Radcliffe, the big left hook. Back and forth. Neither guy can really maintain the momentum. Just when you think somebody's in deep trouble, they come surging back, and that's what a great fight's all about.
Styles make fights.
Well, and these guys were born to do battle. More good work in tight as Radcliffe, there you can see a good look at that damage on that right eye. It was split there. Radcliffe looking to go back to what brought him to the dance. That's heavy pressure. But this round has been an absolute war. And, you know, they say adrenaline can do wonders, and it just seems like Flores has got the adrenaline just flowing through his veins in this round.
I think he's realizing that he could win.
Yes. But Radcliffe digging down deep, eats a straight right. That one caught him flush. And don't sleep on the power of Ezequiel Flores, I'll tell you what.
You know, he gets caught with the good punch, and he comes right back.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be referee Ray Corona having to get between these guys, man.
I agree.
These guys both wanted so badly. That is not usually you would want to ref the main event. I don't think an enviable task in this one. Radcliffe surging late in the round, trying to steal back this round. Tough to say. I think it was a fantastic round for Flores.
Yeah, I go 10-9 Flores.
Yes.
So 2-1.
I would tend to agree. The corner of Radcliffe really working on that eye. Let's take a look back at some of the action. Flores had some great moments, threw some great shots. Big uppercut right up the middle by Flores.
Flores hits with power.
Yeah, that was a great counter left hook, though, by Radcliffe. Just like we said, back and forth. Just when you think one guy's, you know, got that advantage, hard to maintain. Very evenly fought, or evenly matched warriors in this one. Yeah. Round 6. Radcliffe trying to get back to that heavy pressure, and for good reason. But again, look at that, shoving him up. Nobody has been able to push around Mathias Radcliffe the way that Ezequiel Flores has, but remains to be seen if he pays for it. To the body goes Flores now. What a battle.
Wow. We're witnessing a war.
Yeah, I mean, we're witnessing a classic here in the making. And, you know, so oftentimes main events don't always live up to the billing. This one is so far, and Ray Corona stepping in there again. Another warning. You got to be careful. You're flirting with disaster. The last thing you want in a fight that, you know, is so pivotal, so close, you don't want to get a point taken. Tripling up on the jab there was Radcliffe. Getting a little distance going here. Perhaps loading up a big right hand. Love Radcliffe there, even out of the clinch, making him pay. Just digging to the body there and countering off the ropes against Flores.
I'd hate to score this fight.
I would too. I would too, especially with so much on the line. But again, and you talked about it, Flores not looking like a 6-4 fighter here, taking on a 9-0-1 Radcliffe. These guys look even Steven, that is for certain.
If anything, Flores looks very determined.
Yes. And honestly, perhaps the more composed is, Radcliffe almost fights with a little desperation just to keep it inside and keep the pressure, and he pays for it sometimes, gets caught. Getting deep in the fight here with so much hanging in the balance. Who will take home the WBF International Lightweight title? Perhaps too close to call right now. Nice shots by both. And
wow.
I know you got some great sponsors here at DMG. This should be sponsored by Energizer. These guys just keep going and throwing.
Going and going.
Keep going and throwing and throwing. Oh, look at this, boy. Piston shots there by Radcliffe. And that might be a difference maker in this 6th round there. And nice shot right at the bell. I think Radcliffe did steal that round at the very end.
Sure did.
Decisive stuff at the end of the round by Radcliffe.
I have it 4-2.
Yep. But again, been a couple rounds there that are close to call. Let's take a look back at the action. Talk to us about some of what you saw here, David.
I mean, this thing's going back and forth. This guy comes right in with those jabs, counters with those hooks. I mean, to me, Flores is an amazing counter puncher.
And what we didn't see there is right before that last second right hand at the bell. There was 3 or 4 unanswered shots by Radcliffe in tight right hands. All right, here we go.
Championship rounds.
Yes, indeed. Well said. Round 7. 2 warriors. It has been a war of attrition. It has been physical, not much finesse.
Better cut that out.
Yep.
Get a point taken away.
Oh man, big shot there. Flores caught Radcliffe sleeping a little bit there after the warning by the official. I think that warning was renting a little space in the head of Radcliffe, and Flores made him pay for it and continues to do so. Man, what a slugfest.
Wow.
Donnybrook and a half here.
Oh, my God.
Big left hook by Radcliffe. He starts to fire back. Radcliffe will throw with bad intentions, man. He's not used to throwing those shots and have people stick around. That's for sure. 7 have fallen to these shots at Radcliffe, and still Ezequiel Flores stays right there in the pocket.
What is this guy on? He's like the ever-ready bunny.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we talked about it. He is made of iron, this guy, Flores. Well, whoever takes home the gold is going to earn it. I'll tell you that much. But again, I think just Radcliffe just applying the heavy pressure. I think that's the difference maker here. Holding the head down there. Making things uncomfortable was Flores. But Flores, we can't forget, had a fantastic combination early in this round. So this thing very even here in the 7th. It might really come down to this last surge in the final minute of the round to see who's going to take it. The referee talking about the clashing of the heads in there again. Got to be careful. Under a minute to go now in the 7th round. It's anybody's round by my estimation at this point, David.
Oh, I agree. The power shots are equal.
And I'll tell you, Flores better stop holding the back of the head, or he might find himself losing the point.
End of a point deduction.
Absolutely. Both guys trying to get the advantage. That was a strong left hand moments ago there by Flores. Final 20 seconds here of round 7. Flores with a nice combination as Radcliffe continues to walk him down, but Radcliffe's got to start connecting. He does late. Heavy pressure. Oh my goodness. 3 more minutes. What do these two have left?
Wow. Everybody got their money's worth tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coming in, when you saw a 7-fight card and some 4-rounders in there, we didn't know if it'd be a quick night. It wasn't, because everybody's bringing the fight tonight at Night of Champions.
That's the idea. We want to give a quality fight to the consumer.
Let's relive some of the action now, David, from round 7. How do you score that one? A very tough round to score.
I scored even.
There you go. That's safe but true. I would tend to agree with you. Both had great moments.
I think it's going to come down to this round.
Yep, really could. So many of the rounds throughout this fight were razor close. Who can bite on that mouthpiece and perhaps throw with reckless abandon and get the job done? Oh yeah. Well, we're 1 round off on the, we've just been so enthralled with the action. We're told by official that we're in round 7 here. And so we got a ways to go here, David.
Wow.
I lost count because there's so many punches being thrown, and the rounds all kind of bleed into one another. It's one of those things where you just get so caught up in the action, you lose track. But I'll tell you one thing, it's been a
fast fight.
It has been, and one hell of a fight at that.
Oh, he caught him right there. Radcliffe hit him with that cross. Oh.
I was wondering if the pace might slow a little bit here in the 7th, knowing that you got, one more round to come after this, but it doesn't look like it. It looked like both these guys are ready to empty their clip.
These guys were made for each other. Whatever happens here, I want to bring it back.
I was going to say, I hope this is only the first chapter of these two.
Yeah.
I mean, what a series these two could have. And and what an eye-opening performance it's been by Ezequiel Flores. We
I'm very impressed by Flores.
Can't say enough about it. Against an opponent that has been purely unstoppable thus far in his career. But as they say, David, iron sharpens iron. And, Radcliffe, if he's going to try and win the title and keep that O intact, why not do it against somebody so incredibly tough as Flores? No gimmies here.
I tell people, when they looked at the records, they thought this was an easy fight. I'm just like, no, it's not. This, combined wins and losses to this guy, 35-1. The opponents that have defeated him.
That's correct.
Wow, look at that.
Flores was trying to measure him there. Unloads again.
That was a great counter by Radcliffe.
Yep. And now right on cue, Radcliffe surges forward.
Right now, I give this round to Radcliffe.
Yep, and again, Radcliffe.
He caught him right there.
He did. Final seconds.
Yeah, 10-8. To me, that was a 10-8.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I think I'd still score a 10-9, but Radcliffe is an expert at loading up those consecutive shots late in the round. There you see it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 right hands, and it's always right before the bell.
He caught him right there. If it wasn't for the ropes, that guy was going to be dropped. It was a great, great, great.
All right, now we're going into our 8th and final round.
The championship round.
Yes.
This is where champions are made.
Where history is made and legends are made. What do these two have left? What a fight it's been.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both warriors. This is the 8th and final round.
And that alone is a credit to Flores, as 7 others had fallen by the wayside by now. In there with Radcliffe. Oh, what a thunderous right hand by Radcliffe.
He hurt him.
And Radcliffe, I think, had him hurt at the end of the 7th as well. We'll see if he can keep that momentum going. But look at Flores. Flores now, oh my gosh, both are given as good as they get here.
Wow.
In the Fox Theater.
Wow. Oh my God.
What a main event. What a fight. Who wants it more?
Wow. Is that a fight?
Both these guys leaving absolutely everything. Nice left hook there by Flores. Going to the body now is Flores. Incredible back and forth stuff here. And now here comes Radcliffe, as he's done throughout. Surging forward, but I think that Flores might be a little bit quicker to the punch here at this point in the fight, ever so slightly. Sweat is flying. We're getting a shower here, David.
We sure are. Caught him right there.
Big shot, yeah, by Radcliffe. He's so impactful when he gets an opponent cornered. Referee's going to give him some distance here. Let him work. I'll tell you, Radcliffe really sponges up the space in there.
This guy's impressing me.
They both are. This is like a mirror match. Just two perfectly matched warriors. Almost like they're destined to do combat for eternity here. But again, I think just the body language of Radcliffe keeping him cornered throughout the fight is going to be a difference maker. Inside a minute to work now. Neither of these guys are slowing down. Wow. What is keeping these guys up at this point?
Wow, what a fight.
The sure will to win. Oh, big shot by Flores, but surging back is Radcliffe. My goodness. I think these guys could go all night if we let them. Unbelievable.
What a fight.
This is a fight fitting of such a legendary Hollywood landmark. This thing is an action blockbuster if there ever was one. A story of heart and will to win when everything's on the line. What a flurry at the end by Radcliffe. And some style points. Oh.
What a fight.
That was something special, I got to tell you.
What a fight.
That was a phenomenal showing by both, but boy, that was a great surge by the undefeated Radcliffe at the very end, at the bitter end, when he needed it most.
I don't know. I mean, I know if you had a scorecard, I'd have it, maybe 4-4. Don't be surprised.
We'll see. Well, if there is, then you better sign the rematch tonight, because there are going to be some unhappy people. You better get it signed on the dotted line, because we need to see a winner between these two. I mean, I don't think anybody could be disappointed after seeing this, but we want to see somebody's hand raised.
Honestly, it seemed like a very evenly matched fight.
It was. I have to admit it was. But you put in the effort, the guts, the fortitude that these two did, you want to see one of them claim the gold. But certainly both have the heart of a true champion.
Absolutely. This has been a great, great night. You guys have put on a great show. We put on a great show together.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I read the scorecards, a round of applause for both warriors,
All right,
please,
guys, yeah.
in this great matchup. Judge Donald Howard scored the contest 80-72, while judges Fernando Villarreal and Carla Caí scored the contest 79-73 for your winner by unanimous decision. He is now the WBF champion from Reseda, California. He is still undefeated and now the new WBF International Lightweight Champion, Mathias Radcliffe.
Radcliffe improves to 10-0-1 and claims the gold. Boy, the judges had that a lot more lopsided than we saw it here.
Absolutely. I thought it was a lot closer, but I congratulate him. He put on a great show, and it's a good night for everybody watching.
Yeah,
Real
incredible.
quick before I let you go with your team, Matthias, come over here real quick. We're right here. We're gonna go right here. Turn this way for me real quick. While everybody's in here celebrating, I need you here with me for real quick. Listen, on paper, the opponent was, we didn't know that, but look, man, this guy was real tough, and he made you work today.
Listen, I was the one who asked for this fight. I seen Ezequiel, stay here. I seen Ezequiel fight my boy Amado. I've seen him fight other fighters. I knew he was gonna bring out the best in me tonight. I only want fights that are gonna increasingly make me better. I'm not here to fight no chumps. I came here tonight and I fought for a belt and I rightfully won, hands down.
Congratulations, brother. Blessings for you and your family.
Listen, man, what does it mean to you? First fight with DMG, the crowd was crazy. Great match that you asked for. Couldn't ask for anything better.
No, shout out to David Mitchery, my promoter at DMG Boxing. Shout out to Ray Alcorta, the matchmaker, making all this happen, making the fight with Ezequiel happen. Thank you to my sponsors. Without you guys, this is impossible. Thank you to my coaches. And lastly, thank you to everybody in attendance. I love you guys. Without you guys, this doesn't continue to be as great as it is. Thank you, guys.
Guys, we can't wait to see him again. Give a round of applause for your new WBF champion, Mathias Radcliffe.
The champ is here. You can see though, David, with that mouse, he was in a fight. He very much had to earn it, and that's the way he wanted it. He wanted to go to war and win the gold, and that's exactly what he did.
He put on a great show.
I also love, it's not lost on me, that he's got You're the Best Around play, and he hails from Reseda, also the home of the character Daniel LaRusso, the Karate Kid.
Right.
But this ain't the El Valley tournament, but he is the WBF International Lightweight Champion after an incredible night. Kudos to you, your team, your matchmakers. What a night it's been. For everybody at BXNG TV that streamed this to our home audience, to Ramblin' Ralph Velez, our ring girls, everybody. What a night it was at Night of Champions. We'll see you next time. And once again,
I want to thank you.
oh, thank you. When once again it's time to fight on, we're going to look back at some of the action throughout. You had Fonseca. He's impressive as well.
Yeah, boy, he was really exciting. A lot of charisma.
And then El Duro proved that he was very durable, but just didn't have an answer for Casillas. And then the brawling style of Casey as he gets knocked down there. That was a tough way to make his debut. And then this was a case of just sitting back a little too much. That went to a draw. And then how about Navarro?
I really like him. I think he's a great fighter.
Second straight big victory there. Pressure fighter, to be sure. Another guy that's not indicative of his record. But how about the undefeated, terrible Terry Washington? Incredible.
On a one First knockout, second knockout, now third knockout, all in the first round.
3 in a row. And then an absolute classic, an instant classic between Radcliffe and Flores. That was a war to settle the score. Radcliffe wins the title. Incredible. We'll let you watch some more of the action at home as we sign off and say goodnight after a great night of fights. Thank you, everybody.